All right, with it being 5 o'clock, we're gonna
Okay.
get started. You guys have a chance to peruse the minutes?
Yes.
Approved?
Yes.
Motion
Motion
to,
we accept, yep.
seconded? Okay. Good, okay. Let's see. I guess number 3, we're already on to number 3, which is fire department. Rodney,
Yes, sir.
go ahead.
We talked to the guys, they decided they wanna go with that used truck instead of trying to get a grant for a new one right now. So we'd like to know if it's gonna be possible to do a special town meeting to see if we can get a bank loan for this truck.
So we had talked about having a special town meeting in, you guys can refresh my memory,
September.
September.
I don't know if he really wants to hold it that long, he's already held it for 2 months.
Do we have the?
How much was the truck, Rodney?
25 grand, it's a 92 F800 with a Cummins, it's a 1250 Hale pump, 1,000-gallon poly tank, regular.
With no miles and no times on it, because they haven't used it either.
It's a really decent truck. I mean, I got pictures I can show you guys here after we get done.
Yeah, I'd like to see him.
It's really a decent truck. And then we figure we can sell ours, pull it out, service. I mean, it makes somebody a good truck, haul hay and stuff. So yeah, that would be the agenda, but we'd like to do it sooner than September.
So how soon are you?
Couple of weeks. I'm going in for surgery for a second week of August. I'd kinda like to have it somewhat situated by then.
We're maxed out, right, in the fire fund?
Yeah, beyond, yep.
Right, so right now we have page 5.
Yeah.
This is the pre-audit number is.
Yeah.
96749.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
How much are they asking for the truck?
25.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah,
sorry.
you'll have to take a bank loan for it, it's 25,000.
Right, so we would have to put that in front of the townspeople to be approved, to try to get a bank loan for it. Go ahead.
Do we have to do a bank loan, or are we able to pull from surplus? Do we know what our surplus account is at? No, we can't do it from there, or we don't know what it is?
We don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Craig?
I know it's a technicality. So where it's already approved with that mess up with the line, it's already approved with a 42, can you use the September one to approve what the 42 was? Leave the 42 where it was and approve new to cover what was supposed to be there. And then Rodney's already covered, because it's already been approved for, and then you could vote to move from the reserve.
Are you talking about that 42?
Yes.
That's obviously for the garbage disposal.
Not by written. So I know.
Craig,
I-
anybody with half a brain can see that's a mess up on the computer program. It's up, then if that doesn't go with
I
garbage, then where's the money for the garbage?
I fully understand that. I do fully understand that, but we go by letter of law, if that goes in front of a judge, you can say the 42 goes up, not goes down.
Nah, I doubt that, because then where's the money for the garbage disposal?
So,
But that's it.
Excuse me, hey, so now I'm going to turn the page, and I thought this dead horse was gonna get kicked again, so, trash contract, as of January 20th, the trash contract was approved for $58,000. It was, approved to go with the $4,833.35 per month, that was passed, so 58,000, and then there was 16,000 appropriated from trash stickers. So the 42,000 is there's no ifs, ands, buts, or question about it. It is trash money. Herb, I'm gonna call on you. Did you guys appropriate 42,000 for the fire department, or did you appropriate it for the trash contract?
For trash.
Okay, thank you very much.
However, we did it illegally.
But you signed off on it, it looks
I
like.
understand, and I'm taking blame for it.
All right.
I said we, state statute says if you go in a multi-year contract, you have to get the multi-year total approved. We didn't,
Okay.
that's all I'm saying, and
It
I
was a
take
one-year.
a third of the
It
plan.
was a one-year,
contract,
it was a
wasn't it?
one-year contract you guys signed.
Yeah, it was
No,
one
we
year.
signed a 3-year agreement,
I
wasn't
don't
it?
think so.
I
It
don't
was a one-year.
believe
Because they had
Yeah.
a certain percentage up the next year.
Period.
It does,
If
but
they
you
carried
guys,
over.
right, but you guys signed the 1 year.
Oh, okay, I
Right.
thought it was, we assigned the 3-year.
It had a stipulation in it that you could continue it for an additional 2 years and the percentage would increase X amount for each, but that would to be decided in the new year.
Right.
If
Okay,
you wanted
well,
to
I
extend it.
thought we signed the 3-year.
No, it was,
Going back to the fire truck and how we're gonna get $25,000.
You're saying get a bank, go to the bank, get a loan for it.
I don't know that we can still do that though, without,
I think 2 weeks is way too soon to be, even to go to the townspeople and ask them, you've gotta have your ducks in a row to make sure that you've got, the bank will give us a loan. Which bank are you using? You have to put out RFPs to see, what interest rate you're gonna get, what bank you're gonna go with, there's a lot to it. 2 weeks is nowhere near time enough.
And how much is it gonna cost to fix your existing truck?
How much is it gonna cost what?
To fix your existing truck?
Just the pump alone is 20,000.
Okay, so
And then I start
that at
touching the
least
chassis of the car.
answers the question of which is cheaper.
But you still have 2 fire trucks,
Yes,
so this would be a third.
So you have 2 working trucks?
yes, the tanker pumpers, they're not really, they're strictly a pumper. There's a difference. This one's got, but they both have a lot of water on them, and they don't, a lot of driveways, they don't get into very well. They're big. That's the only
But if
problem.
you've got a fire today, you have 2 trucks that work to go and handle the
Yes.
fire? Okay.
I mean, that's up to you guys. If you wanna get down to 2 trucks, that's totally up to you guys.
Give us, I mean, look around, this is the first truck you've looked at too.
Nope, second. There was one down in,
Second.
Ian found the other one.
I stand corrected.
Well, since we're at least finding out about it now, that gives us a little bit of time to talk about it, think about it.
is there, will they hold it for 90 days?
Until September, when the
Yes.
I can call them again tomorrow and ask Pat if they're willing to hold it.
What department is this with, Pat?
No,
Belfast?
no, it's in K&T up in,
Okay.
Island Falls. They build trucks.
Sorry.
And he took it, went in and redid it, refurbished it.
Ask him if he'd hold it for 90 days if we put $1,000 down on it.
We were supposed to go up and look Friday, go up and look at it and double check it out before we do anything, so. I didn't know if we get the paperwork going or what are we gonna do to get it going. It might help.
But you still need to get all that stuff from banks, you have to have, I would say at least 3 proposals to bring to the town, cause you can't just say I need 25,000, well, how much is the interest rate gonna be, what's the term of it?
Mhm.
People are gonna want to know all of
Yeah,
that, so that would have to come first.
The only thing that scares me, it doesn't really scare me, but it makes me nervous is, and I wouldn't think that the town would vote it down, but if they do, we've run this guy around, you know, we've gone up and looked at it and we've wasted his time, that, you know, it would kind of stink to waste his time and waste your time if the town votes it down, you know, that's the only thing I'm kind of worried about.
Yeah, you sort of put the cart
And
before
what's
the
the
horse.
significance of going down to 2 trucks? Is that largely significant to how you guys run?
Some driveways, yes, like over here on Route 7.
Okay,
I'm not gonna tell you the box on it, but
No, that's
Nate was
fine.
there that night. We had a hell of a time getting that truck out of there.
okay,
Because you can't turn it around when you get down in there.
okay,
And the driveway was just wide enough, you had like 4 inches on each side of that truck to back out.
okay.
And there was a big drop off on one end, with the culvert there, it was a huge drop off. So a smaller truck would be nice to get in there.
Mutual aid doesn't have.
So your
small
recommendation as
trucks.
fire chief would be that truck?
From talking to Patrick up there at K&T, yes, he guarantees that truck, he said, I'll guarantee it. He said, I built the pump myself. He said, it is a nice truck. He said, the only reason it's still here, he said, because all these big departments buy new. He said, so we get the trade-ins. He said, the smaller departments buy the trade-ins. So they can afford it.
Ask.
The guy
Ask
at
if-
K&T,
Yeah.
His
Ask
name's
if
Patrick.
if they'd hold it for 90 days, because that would get us out past the town meeting.
Okay.
Ask if they'd take $1,000 down on it.
I'll ask him if he wants any down and go from there.
Or ask what he would want down on it.
Yeah.
Then we're out for money if the town votes it down.
We've lost $1,000.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Because
Or
it's
if he
gonna-
wants
it's-
10 or
It's gonna,
Yeah.
right.
We get,
Go
let's,
ahead,
let's
Diane.
go through this step and see where that takes us.
I was
Okay.
just curious, is he, I assume this is some sort of a garage, this KNT?
Oh, this is a
or-
big company.
Okay, so where he guarantees it, does he give any kind of warranty or anything with it?
I think he
or-
told me he would guarantee the chassis and the pump for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
He said his guys right there built that whole thing, they went all over and refurbished it.
Yeah.
That's significant for a pump on
Yeah.
those trucks, because like $20,000.
I was just curious where he
Yeah.
guaranteed it, if
Yes.
it was more than just him saying.
And that gives us time to look at those there, and then see if-
I will confirm that when
These
I
trucks.
That isn't.
But talking about the one on Friday,
Yeah.
yeah, you
They're
drive it,
useful
just
cell
make sure.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why,
let's go make it up in it, like it-
that's why I have one, and I do.
There's no sense in me building a truck.
So do we wanna make a motion to revisit this at the next meeting, or prior to that,
Do we
or
need a
just,
motion for that?
or just go ahead and have him do the $1,000?
Well,
Question?
I actually have him ask what they would.
I'll ask him to see what
Just
they
for-
want, cause you'll have to ask his boss too.
Yeah.
He's, I actually talked with the other day, and he answered the phone.
Okay. So you'll find out what he would require to hold
for
it.
90 days.
Yep, yep, okay.
And then let us know next week, for your meeting next
No,
week.
next meeting is in 2 weeks.
Any more questions on that then, or do we feel like we have an answer on it?
I think we're pretty clear.
Yeah.
Rodney's gonna find out from them. Rod, did you have anything other than that?
Other fact, we're changing the night of flag meetings. 'Cause we have a couple guys that have a hard time getting there on Mondays because of their job and stuff they
Okay.
do. They're on the Belfast ambulance too.
Okay.
So we're gonna go from, instead of being on Monday nights, we're gonna go from the second to fourth Tuesday night.
Tuesday nights, okay.
So it won't affect town meeting, the selectmen's meeting at all.
What time?
Is it the same time?
6:30.
6:30.
6:30, okay.
I'll change the vote.
And we're about this close.
I don't know, maybe.
You're getting everybody to swing over and check out the firehouse if they want to.
Okay.
You gotta remember, it's a 1954 building.
Well, and I know you've done a lot of work too, so, or I know everybody on the fire department has done a lot of work.
I like to have the selectmen and stuff come in and check it out, and the townspeople, but later on, we wanna do, once I get past my surgeries, we wanna do on like a little open house.
Yeah, have a barbecue.
In the afternoon, have all the townspeople come in and check it out.
Yep.
Perfect.
So, maybe we can throw an air pack on too.
Sure. Okay,
Other than that, I'm done.
okay.
Okay.
All right, Tom, good? Yep. Okay. Moving on to roads and road commissioner, that's number 4. Did either of you guys have anything to?
I don't.
Road commissioner, yes.
Okay, as road commissioner,
yeah.
okay.
So we got the mowing done this last week. Jennifer Works called me and we talked about getting out together and, going over the culverts to find out what we need for culverts. She's called Dig Safe, they're going to have the whole road done.
They did, it's done.
It's done, yeah. They're generally pretty quick.
Which road are we talking, Bonnie Terre?
Bonnie
Terre.
Okay.
They possibly have an opening, they may be able to do it in the next 2 or 3 weeks and it'll be all done.
Oh, great.
I spoke with Earl last week, and he's starting to screen up the 800 yards of DOT 2-inch minus that's gonna go on the East Waldo Road. Also, I said, he's coming next week, and we're gonna discuss negotiations for the snow plowing contract for this year,
Great.
and that's it.
Sounds good. But do convey to him that the next meeting is not next week.
Do convey to him.
What is the date of the next meeting?
Hang on, it'll be the 20-something.
28.
28th?
14 plus 7.
28.
Craig?
The mowing that was today, that's not town, right?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The mowing on the side of the road on 137, that's not town, that's state,
No,
right?
that's state.
Okay.
Oh, on this, yeah.
But you were talking about the sides of the town roads,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
And I will say you're gonna do a very good job.
And the dump is done, correct?
Not yet.
Not
That's broke down,
Okay,
but you will get it.
but it's in the process?
Yep.
Okay.
I did talk also with, Works, this was a while back, on having them do the brush on the side of the road with their John Deere that has the arm that will reach out.
Yep.
But they're not doing any towns this year that way because they don't have the personnel to take off with the job to run it.
I see.
So
Okay.
that we're just doing the regular mowing.
Okay. Jim, did you have anything?
Just wanted to report back from our last meeting that did have a chance to chat with members or shortly, not long ago, members of the roads committee, and doesn't seem to be a lot of energy and interest in continuing without some clear direction and need expressed by you folks, I guess.
Okay.
So that was the question, how much interest and energy was there? There's not a lot. I think it's up to you to decide what you'd like to do. I would just add that we may be missing a pretty good opportunity here to gather a lot of data and information about the roads and what needs to be done, and ultimately how much it might cost for future planning and budgeting purposes particularly. And as a footnote to that, I'd add one more thing as a newcomer to town, that of road issues that I've heard about, the one that seems to persist the most is people don't know what to expect, they don't know what's coming, don't know when the roads are gonna be worked on. So any information we could generate about a roads program, when to expect things to be done, how much it's gonna cost, certainly ahead of voting at town meeting, would be extremely helpful and probably make budgeting and voting a bit more easier when there's information out there on the table. I think we're missing an opportunity, but that's up to you.
The schedule for the roads going forward of what's gonna get done when and
Yes,
what's on the
yeah,
list.
a program and a budget.
Yep.
And if we had to finance something, we'd know what the size of that financing package would look like.
Okay. Gentlemen?
So I guess I made my opinion clear last time, so I'm gonna leave this up to the two selectmen, not the road commissioner.
Thank you, Ian, that's very good.
Yes.
So,
I think
You
just
guys-
hearing back from you, of course, I'm on board for anybody who wants to be involved with the town and wants to volunteer your time, but if it's only gonna end up being you, I feel like that's pretty
I
inefficient,
wouldn't be able to take that on. No.
not great for you.
No.
So if you're fine with it and you don't feel bad about it, then really what's the point in continuing? You're gonna be the only member of the road committee.
Right, that's right. So as I said, it may well be a missed opportunity, but
Yeah, maybe going forward, we can revisit making a proper committee at some point through the board and putting it out there to people if they wanna join. But if you're not having much interest now, then
yeah, I
we
agree,
can at least
I agree.
agree that you don't need to be the sole man meeting yourself for the road committee.
thank you.
I said my piece last
That's fine.
meeting, what I would like to see them work on is anything that we could do for getting a bond. That's where we need help and emphasis right now.
Does that answer your question at all?
Did we miss a part?
I just repeat again from last week, to tackle a financial question, we need to know how much it's gonna cost, and to know how much it's gonna cost, we need to know what the condition of the roads are in. That's the project we're talking
And what
about.
needs to be done on the road?
Tom, I don't know if this would help you or not, but I had the sudden realization one day, driving back from taking my grandson home, that it's not advice and guidance that you need, it's information and data. So it wouldn't interfere with the road commissioner job or task in any way. Just data and information, what we're talking about.
Well, and would that be something that the road commissioner going forward, isn't that kind of part of what the road commissioner does, asking the road commissioner, not Tom the selectman? That you kind of drive the roads to find out what needs to be done?
It's kind of like having three wheels when you only need two. And I know you couldn't necessarily do specifics on bond, but any research that you could do for regulations, what we have to have. The base numbers aren't too hard to come up with for what we would actually need for money.
Right, but as the road commissioner, don't you drive around to look and see what needs to be done on the roads? To kind of make a schedule, an estimate, this road needs
Yep.
this, so then we'll have more, the board together to say like, hey, this is the next road that needs to be worked on, and it
Yep.
needs X, Y, and Z.
Per the road commissioner.
Isn't that what the road commissioner does? Okay, that was an answer to my question, 'cause I don't know.
I've actually gone out and, on the Savage Road, I surveyed, I went from door to door, I knocked on every door on the Savage Road. Because I don't drive on the Savage Road, trying to find out where the bad spots were, and, because we've talked before, and we're doing it piecemeal. Well, we're not doing it piecemeal, we're doing the worst spots first. We don't have enough money to go ahead and do everything at one time, so we take the worst spots
Right.
so that we can get vehicles through. I don't know where the worst spots are, without going and talking to the people who actually live on the
Yeah.
road.
100%. Okay. Does that answer the question? That he will be looking, or the road commissioner, whoever that may be, would be driving around looking to find out what needs to be done and make a suggestion?
That's not what he's looking for, but.
Okay,
Well, that's the job that has to be done.
that's what I'm guessing.
I'm inclined to just offer that a third wheel can give you more traction,
Okay.
Tom. So, if things change, you can ask us, and we'll, you know, if you wanna do something more,
Do you
wanna
wanna be
use
in
the
the running for
program.
road commissioner, Jim?
No, I knew that would come up.
Are you
No,
sure?
no, thanks.
I mean, it is
I don't know
open.
anything about roads, I know about planning the
Come on,
process.
Diane.
So one thing, you know, at this time, I understand that the current board members aren't super enthusiastic about continuing or potentially looking into bonds at this time. So one thing I know we had talked about putting on the special town meeting for September is if no one steps forward before then, seeing if the town will vote for all three of you to be
Yes.
the road commissioner. And maybe at that time, it may be something that you wanna revisit, to put it out to the town and say, hey, is there anybody with road knowledge or, you know, bond, grant writing, any of that experience, and see if a new one wanted to form at
Okay,
that time?
that's very good,
maybe?
I like that. So going forward, I would say, let's stop things, and it will be brought up at the next town meeting if anybody is interested in joining said road board. If we get a bunch of hands that fly up,
It's a great compromise. I would suggest that the question has to come from you. You have to announce that you want a committee to do X, not ask people what they want to do.
Yeah.
Just to put a finer point on that.
We can put
issue.
out on the agenda for the special town meeting, the board's looking for a road committee, specifically looking for people
Duties
with grant knowledge and anybody with road knowledge,
Do
and
you-
it's volunteer.
The only thing I would question is, do you want to do that even if we have an actual like one individual as road commissioner at that time? Because wouldn't it kind of be duplicating
Well,
work, or, I mean, that's up to
if
you
it's
guys, I
still
guess you can
volunteer,
talk about
we
it
can-
and see.
It's time to talk about that
Yeah.
before the meeting.
and we can also just put it out there,
Yeah.
you know? If
Right.
we have interest, we have interest, if we don't, we don't.
if the townspeople are interested and
Exactly.
they want it,
Yep,
then it's fine by me. If that's the consensus, is everybody wants this,
Yeah.
then okay.
or if there are people more than, again, just, or Jim by himself
Right.
at the meeting.
Right.
I gotta say something, I'd really like to say this for the record too. I'm kind of thrilled to see as many people out here. I know Jim Murphy's gonna be here in a little while, but I like it when we have a select board meeting with his actual input,
Yeah,
because we're supposed to be representing you.
yes,
And if we don't hear from you,
right.
we just keep going and do the best we can.
It's a lovely thing. Does anyone have anything else on roads? For tonight?
And take a vote.
Does that sound right?
Make a motion to revisit that, well.
I mean, there was never a motion to create it, so
Right.
why do we need a motion to just continue it?
You can just stop meeting,
Yeah.
I think, but,
Well, the board took action to create, I don't know what
They
the
did,
action
okay.
was at the time.
alright, so we'll make
I-
a motion to
You
decide.
can motion to reconsider the idea
No, there was no,
and the purpose.
I actually have looked into the past minutes, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but on 9/30/24, there was first mention of a road committee, and members mentioned, different members mentioned, and it was noted that the dates of the committee meetings must be posted. There was no mention of a motion, there was no motion passed to make this committee. Jim, you were voted per the people on the committee as the chair on 10/21/24. But according to the past minutes, there actually was never a motion to form this committee.
Well, I wasn't there, so
Yeah.
I'm operating from what my understanding is.
Yep. And I just thought that was an interesting,
Very fair enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
so.
So I guess you don't need to undo what didn't get.
Right.
Right.
So
That's
then
all.
are we all set on road?
That's all,
for
that's
this
where I was going, that's all,
particular
that's all.
Yes.
All right, fair
Okay.
enough.
Does that feel safe to say we can move on?
All right.
Okay.
So number 5 is concealed weapons.
So sorry, did I interrupt you?
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
I have come early to make copies. All 3 of the people looking for their concealed weapons passed their background checks.
Excellent.
Diane, there's copies for the town to have
Okay.
a copy of the applications in case again, don't know how this works, in case anybody needs a copy, wants a copy.
Yep.
Um, all 3 checks and cash have been given to Kelly, and I believe they're good to go. From anyone who's done concealed weapons permit in the past, is there anything other than just mailing them to the state that we need to do?
Mail,
Anyone? Just mail them,
mail what?
the applications to the state.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Does anyone have a comment about that? Or is that correct?
Is there directions in the application that say what to do?
Yes, there's not directions of what to do, but there is mailing address for this. So I'm going off assumption as I
Yeah,
went through and did not get an answer today. So I'm guessing that's what we do. So we can mail those.
Sounds right to me.
I don't know if you feel comfortable doing that.
I can if you want me to,
Okay, if
that's
you have
fine.
envelopes to mail it.
Yeah, would you like me to mail them separately or all as one?
Probably all as one, it's fine. Just save
And I'll
yourselves
just
the
put a
mailers.
little cover letter with it.
That's
just
the
letting them
address.
know. Okay.
So I did get, in touch with the guy from the state of Maine, James. So the website's called Inform Me. To anybody who has a billable account, it costs money. To us, we will have a non-billable account, which costs us $0, and the state pays the monthly fee. We will have access to be able to do concealed weapons and background checks if we get a new employee, ourselves in-house. So I put myself, Ian, and Tom on the list for access, and we'll go forward doing them as they come in. It does take over a week to process, so Rodney, I did get your application. I'll call and have him run your check, and then you should be all set. But renewal or anything else, I feel like going forward, that's just easier. We don't have to make extra calls or wait on responses from other departments. We can just do it ourselves.
Yes.
So that is all I have on concealed weapons. Do you have a question?
That's what mine is just a renewal.
Yeah, even as a renewal, it's
It's
still
still good on
making
the
sure that, not that I don't trust you, but
Nothing's coming up.
nothing's come up within your time since you've last had one.
Pretty shady, so.
You never know.
Do you want me to take his money now too, so I'm not hanging on to it?
Easy.
Oh, sure, actually, that's great. Then I don't feel like I'm taking it home with me again. There you go. Good.
Kim,
Oh,
I-
21.
It's just $20.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Is that a dollar
I was told
donation, or-
21.
do you know what that makes her books do?
And I was talking a
Percentage
while
of
ago, and I mentioned that we ought to
Yep.
get a laminator.
Need more
Yeah.
eggs,
So
right,
when
Kelly?
we
I
issue
know.
the permit-
I laminated my own.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
that
the
we
town
can
should really have
laminate
that
them.
in the office.
And on the back, there is a square that's big enough so that we can take a picture, and we'll just picture and put it on the permit.
Like a passport
Rodney?
photo.
Yes.
So are they gonna be just handwritten ones this time, like they have been in the past?
I'm not sure, that's a question I can ask him. He didn't say, he just said you will be issued your permit, so I'm not sure if it's still a piece of paper, I would assume. And then it would be up to you to laminate it, but again, to Tom's point, I think it's a good thing to have in the office for us to have a laminator. I don't know if we can find that in the office supplies budget or wherever that's
If we-
allocated, but
Yeah, you can get like a cheap version on Amazon for like
Yeah.
$25-30.
But if you wanna put a picture of it
Get
on
one.
the camera too.
Get one.
Well,
I
it
think
would-
it's, I mean, I just
It
think
would be
that's.
good to
a-
have
Motion
it.
for that.
Yeah, and we don't have
Sorry,
colored ink
what
to
were you
print the
saying?
pictures either.
Yeah, we don't have colored ink
To
here.
go and get a passport photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can bring your own photo,
How much
the
that cost?
city, I mean, you can.
They do it right down the wall.
Yeah,
I had
Yeah,
mine done.
Yeah.
that's,
as well.
that's why I
Perfect.
went ahead and mine done as well.
great,
So I'll just bring my picture
Bring
up,
your
give it to you,
photo,
I just
bring
took
your
it out
card.
tonight.
Do we wanna make a motion to purchase
a
a
laminator,
laminator?
yes,
We ought to, we need one.
so, just make it,
I make a motion.
Time you make an Amazon
Purchase it.
purchase, something
a
else.
second, the
Laminator.
motion to get a laminator,
Spend less than $100.
all in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, 'cause
I
they're all
wish
looking
we
at
could-
it.
You paying attention over there?
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wanna just,
Yeah, I'll do some digging. Do you guys want me to bring you options or just go with the
Just
cheapest,
get one.
best review one?
Get a,
Cheap with good review.
Yep.
get a good one.
Yeah.
Keep it under $100. I saw them
Yeah.
for less for
Oh, yeah,
25
you
to
can get
50.
'em-
So,
yeah,
yeah, I
you
know.
can get them fairly cheap.
I wish
get
we
one.
had talked about it
Like
last
that.
week, cause Prime Day was just going
Right,
on. We could've
exactly.
gotten one for like $10 probably.
Here's $1 towards it.
Oh, good.
But it just makes more sense to have that, I'm sure there's
Yeah,
papers and stuff
yes.
in here you guys hang that you
Or
might
things
wanna
like fishing
laminate
license,
too.
hunting license,
Right,
we could
exactly.
laminate those.
100%,
That would be nice.
so,
Yes, it
was
would.
there
And
any
you know what they
question
look like
about,
after a year in your wallet?
I do.
Okay.
That's why I give you guys a little plastic baggies to put it in.
was there any questions
she won't
about
even put
concealed
them in the
weapons?
bag.
There you
I
go.
have to cut it out.
She won't even put it in the bag.
There you go.
All set? The
Does anyone-
only, go ahead.
Does anyone have a question about concealed weapons? Okay, great.
The only thing before we move on to number 6, I did wanna make mention, when Jim gets here,
Yeah.
we're not gonna dive into individual properties that, like Craig said, that Larry's was
Waterfront.
waterfront.
And new,
Anything,
new
any,
waterfront bill.
any question
Yeah.
pertaining to personal property is gonna be tomorrow during his office hours, when he's sitting in front of his computer and he can look you up and you can talk to him about
Yes.
your specific problem. Tonight's gonna be more general questions we have for him. If you have a general question about the assessing, let him fly, absolutely. But individual properties, we're gonna ask that people talk to him tomorrow during his office hours.
He did email me back with answers.
Okay.
Okay,
Which tomorrow he'll be here from 3 to 6.
3 to 6. Tomorrow he'll be here from 3 to 6. All right.
When was that? When was that?
All right, so snow plowing is number 6. We're gonna move on to that. And did you have any more to add to that, other than he was gonna come to the next meeting? He's gonna come to the next meeting.
And that's Earl's coming?
Okay.
perfect.
That'll be a long one too. Earl likes to talk.
Do you guys need do you want copies of the current snowplow contract, just so you have an idea as to
Sure.
what's? Okay.
Yeah, I have one, but they definitely should have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got my notes about what needs to be added to it. I emailed
Oh,
on the building audit that they said has to be added into
I
it.
didn't read that because it was 47 pages long. I figured you could just fill me in.
47 pages.
Little
Oh,
light
the
reading.
building audit, not
I was like
the,
scrolling
Yeah.
and scrolling and.
No,
I'm
but
like,
the
you know
building-
what?
the
I'm just
loss
gonna talk to
control.
Kelly tonight.
the loss control audit for the
Yes,
buildings.
yes.
That it has to be written in, or it should be written in the contract, reminding him not to fill it above the fill line and push against
The sand shed.
the sand
Yep,
shed. So
yep.
there were certain things that I emailed you guys that
Okay.
need to be added to the contract when we
Okay.
rewrite it.
Okay.
Just so that everybody,
The
You won't have to-
district audit was 83 pages.
Anything else on snow plowing, Kelly? No? Okay.
anyone else?
Any questions on the snow plowing contract? No? Okay. All right, moving on to the policies that I think tonight we need to make a decision on.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of one of us being able to come up here and sign the
BMV and
BMV for the
and
warrant.
payrolls.
Yes, the in and out, basically the in and out money, the wash money.
Right,
I'm in favor of one of us being able to come up here and sign off on that versus
all three of
all
us.
three of us.
Yeah, whatever you guys wanna do, a lot of towns do it that way because maybe one of the select board lives closer. In this case, I think you all live about the exact same distance.
Right.
So, I mean, even if you guys wanted to trade off
Alternate
on,
it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
every, every third week is your turn to come up and sign
Right.
up.
sure.
However you guys wanna do it, it's fine with me.
I think that's fine too, so that it doesn't fall on just one person
Right.
all the time too, if you guys wanna alternate it
Yep.
to, Ian, Tom, me, or whatever, however you wanna line it up.
And that way also, I think a reason a lot of other towns do it that way also is just in case, especially like during summer months or around the holidays.
Right,
If two
vacations,
people
yeah.
are gone,
Yeah.
you would only have one person. So I
Right.
think that's also another reason that it's done that way typically.
And during the school year, I'm generally on a schedule. Diane has the money up here Friday after work. Friday I come, and that week I come and do the deposit. And that week I will do it. I'll do the warrant as well on Friday, so you can do it any time over the weekend. But for right now in the summertime, sometimes it's a little hanky. I'll just shoot out an email, warrant's ready.
Okay.
To all three of you,
And that's just for the BMP.
just for the BMV.
Right, and like the
So-
state share
Okay,
stuff, like
right.
vital records, fish, all
Yeah.
that.
Payroll, anything that would need to be done outside of a public meeting that you're signing tonight to have permission to. I'll just say, warrant done.
So did we, not to be ridiculous, but did we have copies of that policy
You
already?
absolutely did.
Yeah.
If you don't have them, I do have more printed in my office, because Kelly had already given them to you, I didn't realize she had given you them originally, so that was my bad. There should be, I think there's 3 different ones, there's one for like state share stuff, one for payroll, one for school.
Which isn't a big deal because we can pay that.
Right. Yeah, the school doesn't get as cranky as the state does about their money. Or does it, hold on, sorry, it's more big. Yeah,
I can change it.
it's cranky. Do you want me to go grab copies
I don't
from my
have a
office?
copy, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
I will go grab some.
Yeah, please do.
I have the
Yeah,
report,
'cause-
but I don't have the copy.
It'll just make it easier. She's got
Yeah.
copies already to go. I probably did.
How do you want me to, what we got for contact information?
Don't sound like Barbara, that's a lot. And she didn't know.
Great.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
perfect.
I'll make sure you get,
Yeah, I got it.
meeting.
The old days.
Unless anybody can go through it, trying to
And that's a great idea. I think that's gonna save me paper, time to put it in an envelope. You still get the same receipt, you can still print your receipt.
Is it page 208, 207 to 213?
Were each one of those a little bit different?
So this one
Yeah, the numbering on the
is
pages
the
was
state fees, this one is for the school. And are those the only 2? I don't have the payroll one, do you have the payroll one, Kelly?
I probably can come up with it.
Oh, it's right here, never mind. Just
Oh,
kidding. The school one was only 1 page, so I had it mixed up. There are the 3 different copies.
I'm the, I think, the only one that doesn't have a copy. Can you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Sorry. Everyone else. It's good to go.
I thought nobody had a copy, I thought you were just
No.
looking for one to
No,
sign
that's
off
good.
on.
So this is just the sample policy for the disbursement of warrants and municipal payroll for
outside of a public meeting.
This is from MMA Legal Services.
So we'll probably need a pretty explicit, motion to,
Yeah, I just
Explain
wanted
all
to
of
review
this
this
financial.
first, so
Yeah.
I could
Yep.
see exactly what it said. So for the purpose of this, it says this policy is allowed, it's allowing designated municipal officers, select board members, or counselors acting on behalf of the full board of municipal officers to review, approve, and sign treasurer disbursement warrants for wages and benefits only. It's not in lieu of majority power. Pretty simple, it just says effective date, copies go to the chair. Lapse in the policy is 1 year after its effective date, so we can re-vote on it next year. It renews every year. And it's just a reminder that if the municipal treasurer is an appointed official, the treasurer shall remind the municipal officers to consider renewing the policy annually before it lapses. So, I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah, sure, I'll find out.
Where you're the chair, don't you?
Those original signatures, those are on page 206.
206, I don't have that one.
This one's for the school, same thing, MMA Legal Services. It's just to sign a policy of disbursement of the municipal education costs. The treasurer is authorized to disperse funds to municipal education costs when the treasurer has been presented with a disbursement warning signed by the school superintendent and approved by the majority of the school board or by all members of any finance committee appointed or duly elected by the school board.
so that's not saying that you, as select board, would sign it, is that Kelly
It's
can
saying
just
that
disperse
Kelly
it
can
directly?
disperse the check directly to the school, correct?
Outside of a public meeting.
Yeah.
These are 3 things, or 4, depending on how you look at them, that can be dispersed outside of a public meeting as long as these policies are signed.
Yeah.
So on those
What I heard
off
was that one of these folks would have to sign it, so that was my.
yes,
Signing the warrant.
signing the warrant.
Yeah, because warrants are supposed to be signed in a public meeting. Yeah. But
The ones
these
for the
are
school, I
the
would say no.
exceptions that the state allows
Then
for.
you all sign that.
And that's fine, we don't pay the school regularly,
I know.
so,
This
So,
is
yeah, that
saying
was-
This is the policy for approval of disbursement warrants for the state fees collected by the municipalities.
yeah. And it's all monies that are a wash, or payroll and payroll taxes,
Okay.
and the school, so.
Do you already have one that's been signed out, or do you want me to start it?
So, Kelly, can you refresh my memory?
That's the exact same verbiage as the first one.
Who's that?
You signed it.
Yeah, you guys
Okay,
did.
you just said you didn't want to do this one, because this is for
Right.
education costs, you just said you didn't
I
want
don't
to
want
do this
that.
one.
That
Well,
was
it's not
what you guys
necessary.
Originally.
I don't think it's necessary, because
Yeah.
we don't, there's not a,
We don't need to pay them every week.
right,
Right, it's
When-
not on every warrant,
right,
right?
and it's not,
And they can wait.
right, you can, yeah. It's- There's not a day that it's due, they're not gonna come knocking on our door, we can.
Right, but for wages and benefits and for like the state fees, obviously you're
Those are
saying that needs to be done
deadlines,
every
they're
week.
deadlines.
Yes, the
We
state
do,
fees, when
yes.
they're due.
And since we're meeting bi-weekly, this is just for us to come
Yep, on the off.
and sign on the off
And I'm
week.
ripping this up.
Yep, do it.
So do you want to start it?
You guys-
Your end.
Kim, just to make sure, I think yours says sample on it, and I
Yeah.
don't believe theirs does, so you'll wanna sign one of the other copies.
Okay, great.
Just a heads up. Cause I think Kelly had modified it so that it wasn't a sample version anymore. I
Look
did
at
not.
We're gonna go with this one.
No.
Well, I got mine directly, they sent it, so maybe they
May
modified it.
review and
But I'll
sign.
take it.
Yeah, and then we're
Yeah, I
gonna
just
just alternate the weeks.
And I didn't think it was modified before.
So that's, who's correct?
So yeah, you're the chair, so you'd send, you'd put your name there, and then we'll go after you.
just printed, you gotta find the other page.
Yeah.
He said the other day, I really want to see my duck.
Where's the other page?
So,
What is that, 128,
that was 208.
129?
Are you appointed or elected?
I'm elected.
You're elected, okay, because it says treasurer can be either, so if you're elected, you just have to
Original
provide at the
policy
annual
unless the
meeting
municipal
that it's like
is
up for
incurred.
renewal.
The policies are up for.
That's what it says here.
Oh.
It says if the municipal treasurer is an elected official, the treasurer is requested to provide such an annual reminder. But if you're appointed, it's a little bit differently, so.
Yeah,
It
'cause
says
they would
just
still be the
let us
same
know
one.
before it lapses, so I don't know if that matters or not, but.
Yes, thank you.
That's good to know, I
So
didn't
we're
realize that, I missed that part.
all on the same page.
And Jim got there too, just in case you guys are waiting on him.
Oh, yay, well, he's next.
The vetting on policies is different than ordinances, correct?
Do what?
The vetting on policies is different than ordinances, correct? It's the process. Process of policy is just between the selectmen.
Right, yes, yes, yes.
I've never dealt with policies. so.
Yeah, policies are an internal, whereas the ordinances need to be approved by, like, voted on by the town and everything, yes. Yep.
So, do one of you get this now that we've signed it? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I agree.
Do we wanna move Jim up and do the warrant after him?
Is he here?
Yep.
Yes, he's here.
Okay.
He's fine
Okay,
for.
so we're gonna move the warrant after the assessor?
They want one of the above to be able to
Okay.
sign, any one of them.
We didn't have any more policies, right?
This is just for,
Right?
Yes. Oh, are you guys signing the BMV one?
Yeah, did you not give us that one?
No, we didn't sign that one. Yes, we will sign that one.
Okay, do you have the copy of it?
Copy it.
I gave
Listen,
the
guys,
sample
pull
copy,
yourself together
sorry.
here.
Basically, we're doing the exact same thing as we did
Come
on
on.
this one on that one.
Is that the one that's state fees?
This one is employee wages, yes, state fees
Okay.
would be the BMV.
Yeah.
So that's this one.
Yes,
Is
but
that
that one says
213?
sample, I believe, or does it not?
I mean, it does, but I don't know if you wanna cross it out, white
Do
it out.
Ian or Tom have an original?
Yeah, that one is 212.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Tom's got one right here.
Alright,
Jeez. Now throw away the rest of them so we
So
don't
just
have to do
that
this again.
copy.
Oh, you want to find the signature page, too?
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think the signature pages are all the same.
Yeah, they look like it. Good luck.
Like we do with everything else.
Show up.
What are they doing, just counting all the acres now, is the same, even if it's wetland, correct? I am unsure. Come on. As far as I know, if you get into unusual. I forgot I brought that.
Been thirsty.
You do. What have you been doing?
I can't have that.
Get mine over now.
I got so half of my property is water. Correct, so.
2 weeks, but it'd be 4 weeks.
Right, but it's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting any day.
Labeled by the state.
That was just
Yeah, just to give a
Right, so. You know, the bill
After the public. I'm not gonna do any more.
Jim, we're ready for you. There's one lonely seat if you'd like it, and you're welcome to stand back there.
No.
So,
New faces and old faces.
yeah,
Yes, do we
So
need
you're-
formal
you're-
introductions?
You're Jim, or,
I'm Jim.
okay,
Perfect.
you don't want to come forward and,
I am forward right here.
no.
He's all right, he's comfortable.
because we
with that.
videos
He's
and
comfortable.
meetings.
Well, it's
now.
just
That's
hard
okay.
to,
Yeah, to
everybody
turn
turn
around.
their heads around to talk to you. It'd be easier if you were up
Put you
front.
in this
Thank
corner
you.
or in
Appreciate
this
it.
corner.
I'll acquiesce to the board.
Okay.
So do we need formal introductions? Do you know everybody here or no?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay, okay.
yes,
We're your new
yes.
select board.
That's what I heard. It's unfortunate that
Yeah.
things changed quickly here. So
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. So,
We had some general questions. I know there was
Sure.
we'll start with the billing question.
Yeah.
Just because that was easiest, I think, for what general questions were.
Yeah.
What was?
We got two bills
We got
for some
two
sort of
bills.
mailing, and they had questions. Like I told you that sometimes I get fishy stuff in the mail, and you said that they were valid to go ahead and pay them, but
So,
we've got two,
they're-
there's about
They're
500
both from Creative Digital.
No, one's different.
Oh, I don't know about those.
Okay, then let me get it.
So
I should've
part of
brought
this
it
is
with me.
knowing what you got. So I
Right.
don't know what you got.
One was
Sounds
from
like-
Creative and one was.
Yeah, Creative Digital and one from High Grade probably.
Okay.
So, in both cases, I don't know if they're in, the revaluation budget. From what I understand, there's, money set aside for the revaluation for the land buildings. It can come from that.
Okay.
If you didn't set anything aside, you can take it from the assessing budget.
Okay.
And we will, cut back our days a little bit, to make that work. It's important that the taxpayers were communicated with in advance of the tax bills, so we can
Right.
solve whatever else that needs to be solved in
Yep.
advance. That's not
I'm
a big
sorry,
deal
can you
at all.
speak up a little bit for the hard of hearing? It's me.
Hearing aids help.
They certainly do, and I
Not
don't.
everybody can afford them,
Right. But, I
especially
mean,
with our
it's,
taxes going up.
right, I mean, it's
Alright.
like there's somebody in the
Before-
back.
Yeah, before things and questions get crazy, before Kelly comes back with the bill, we were just thinking that it was for printing service or
So
something.
there are two things involved. That's,
Okay.
part of that is the printing. They can mail it cheaper than anybody in the office could do. So that's for the envelopes, the mailing and printing, and for the postage, which is at a,
Okay.
is at a reduced rate.
So
High,
that
high
doesn't,
grade, yeah, high grade and CDI. That's
And-
exactly right.
so those wouldn't fall under your tools or items that you need to complete the contract.
No, that's a mailing for the town.
So, and that couldn't be done here, where we already have the mailers and postage?
It's cheaper to do it through this service than it is for you to do it paper and printing. If you wanna do something different in the future, we can do that.
I would very much like to be, asked, or at the very least informed that we're gonna receive this bill, this is what we're doing, this is what we wanna do, this mailing service. Do we have your blessing
Right, are you guys okay with
with the
it?
select board
Yep.
before we just have, $400 worth of mailing bills dropped on us?
So, for that point, no problem.
Okay, great,
You weren't the select board at that time, so
and I
I
mean,
was,
you were.
yeah, I was 100% on the select board.
So that brings the question, do you want to do the mailing for the tax bills outsourced, which is again what we did last fall, the exact same company? Or do you want to do that in-house? Or did you fold?
We did tax bills in-house.
Okay.
We ordered pre-stamped envelopes
Windowed.
and, windowed envelopes, and Sandra folded them and mailed them out herself.
Okay. So do you want to do that for the tax bills again?
I mean,
There's a box or two of stamps,
Yep.
envelopes in there.
yeah, we were planning to order more in preparation for tax billing. That's how it's always been done, and that way, because some of the addresses, like I've gotten a stack of them returned because the addresses were not updated in Trio yet. So some of those also, we have a few people in town who own 4, 5, 10 properties, and we kind of condense those all in one mailing to help save on postage also.
So this mailing service, if the addresses are exactly the same as central parties, we'll combine all those multiple owners into one. We will, if there's anything different, as much as a space, they will not go together. So if it's central parties, they are all the same, then they will go in a single envelope, and we've corrected a number of those going forward.
Yeah.
If how the mailing service works, if your time is not worth anything, then it's a wash. If your time is worth something, it's cheaper to send it out through the mailing service. They can do it faster and more efficiently at a cheaper price for postage.
well, I think that's also something for you to consider if you're already here and you're not billing extra time for doing these,
No,
then
that's part of my job.
we absolutely don't wanna incur extra fees.
Right.
It's not, it's,
So.
yeah, if your time, like I said, if your time's not worth anything, if you've
Well,
got other things to do.
I don't think I would word it
it's
that
a
way.
lot.
Yeah, I
That
wouldn't word it
seems-
that way either.
That
I mean,
seems kind of rude, but,
If you have time, then you can,
well, it's
you
what
can
I
pull
get
them.
paid for each year, so to me, that's part of my job
Right.
description.
so let's just making sure we're on the same page going forward.
Yes,
And I'll check on the
just
price.
obviously prior to any new billing, if we could just get on the same page.
Yep.
So for now,
I think
just
we
to
are.
handle this, did you wanna take it out of days worked, or what were you?
Out of the regular assessing budget, you can take it from there, and we'll just cut back.
Okay.
That's what I would have.
Perfect.
Yep, yep.
So, did you wanna make a motion to pay these through that regular assessing budget? I'll make the motion,
I will
pay
second
the
it.
bills, okay? And then, maybe just going forward, it could be a little more detailed in the contract of what you include in like, what you need to complete your contract and equipment and tools, like what that actually entails, just so we would have more knowledge, so we don't have to question you on every
So-
little
So
thing
let's
spent.
cross, being this is a new board, let's cross
Yeah.
that path.
Okay, great,
So in the last year, we had a contract for a certain amount of money. Sandy and I decided that we would do a lot of clerical work at a much reduced rate. And
Okay.
you'll see that. I think we're contracted for about 84 hours. We gave the town 156 hours for the same price last year because of all the clerical things and data entry that we did off-site to make things going forward. So I appreciate your comments, we'll do that going forward, but also know in the background that we've provided to this town a lot more hours than we were contracted for.
and that's always just good for us to know.
That's good for you to know.
I have a quick question. Were these two separate mailings, or was this one mailing split?
One mailing,
One mailing?
that's for the one mailing
Okay.
for,
Okay.
high grade has a cost and then there's a printing
Yep.
cost. So,
Cool.
When will the tax bills be ready to go out this last year?
I put on my checklist for tonight to decide when you wanted to do the tax commitment. So that the tax bills go out after the tax commitment, so.
Yep. When can you be available?
We are pretty much ready to go.
Okay.
We've got a deadline for people to get back to us from the letters for the new valuations, so it'll have to be after that date.
When is
And-
that?
And, August 8th, you've got the letters, I know.
Okay,
Diane?
Yeah, can we, so I know last year we had talked about when the tax bills had been due the year before, and we were gonna try and keep it right around September 30th, just so you guys are aware, so if we could maybe, when did we sign the commitment, like the 25th or something, I feel
August.
like, of
Yeah.
August,
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
So, cause we don't want, I mean, I don't think anybody wants their bill any earlier, so that they're getting a full year in between. So I don't know if you guys would like to keep it right around the same time, instead of bumping it up a month early, that kinda can be
Mid-August,
startling for
August.
people sometimes.
Yep.
So,
if it's not due to a different, would it be due
it's
in
a
August?
30 Right,
it's like 30 days after your bills.
Okay.
So if we did the commitment at the end of August again, like around the 20-some, I mean, if it's a week or so early, I don't think anybody's gonna be upset about that. But I know one year we had it like November 30th, and the next year it was due September 30th, and that was really upsetting for a lot of folks.
We'll let people know.
Yeah.
Well, if that
So-
gives you till 8/8 anyway, maybe we can try to do it somewhere around the special meeting, so we're,
Mid-August.
We don't
end
wanna,
of
yeah, we
August.
don't wanna go too late, cause we gotta think about the money we have in the bank too, we need that tax
Right.
revenue in.
Right.
So if we're thinking of sticking to a date, which I like, maybe we want to slightly
Bring
move
it
it up.
ahead a little.
Right, like a week or so ahead, and then a week or so ahead, and then we're not worried about that interim time of low funds, I don't know, I'm
well,
just,
and once they get the bills, they have 30 days,
Yeah.
correct?
Yes.
So, if we're shooting for them to be paying by the end of September,
Yep.
let's just back it up a month and a week.
So I'll check I've got 10 commitments to do in different towns, so I'll check my schedule for tomorrow.
Okay.
And
After
we'll get a date.
Okay.
I think it's the 8th, that was the deadline for those.
I honestly don't remember.
Me neither.
I don't remember.
At least if we're doing it before the end of August, we can try to pick a date before the end of August.
No problem.
Okay,
How did you establish the valuation of the land?
So,
I've seen the chart.
Yep.
So much for pasture, so much for wooded land, so much for wasteland, whatever.
so that's in farm space.
Okay, just talking about just the land, you don't, what do you use for a basis when you assign one of those codes?
So I broke out the codes,
I've seen the codes.
first acre, second acre,
Yep.
2 to 5 acres, whatever it is. So that is all based on the sales that occurred in Waldo over the last couple of years. So that's all local market based. And then decided how I was gonna break out that total. The totals that are in the values are consistent throughout the town. There was one area of town that showed with market evidence that it was a little bit less. The rest of the town was pretty generic. I looked for paved road versus dirt road situations to see if the market told me that one is higher or lower than the other. That didn't seem to blossom up either. So my goal is to make sure that the first acre is assessed based on market value and market prices that have occurred, all the way through the highest acreage in the town at the 20-acre waypoint or 50-acre waypoint or wherever that might be. And to have that curve match up as best possible to the market. It's pretty easy to do sub 5 acre values. That's pretty constant. You get up to larger parcels and that curve moves every year in every single town I'm in. It's hard to hit the right number every year on those. But I picked a number that looked consistent, that I can live with for a couple of years, and that's where we're at. But it's all Waldo-based sales. And next year it'll be wrong. The market's inconsistent.
So going off of Waldo based, I've got a little bit of research here.
Mm-hmm.
Troy, Brooks, Freedom, Searsmont, Swanville.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get a total for Swanville, but Troy just received new property cards on 6/16/25,
Mm-hmm.
and their one developed acre is 30,000,
Mm-hmm.
and we are at 65.
That's correct.
How?
Yeah, how?
It makes no sense, dude, we're not
Easy.
Portland.
So just a second. This isn't a debate. This is information. So I base the values on vacant land sales in the town of Waldo. What do you need to do to a site to get it ready for a building? You have to add a well, a septic, and some site work. That's the difference. Now, if Troy says that their $30,000 value, when you have septics at 20,000 and drilled wells at 10,000 and site development for another 10,000, that's 40,000.
So how'd you come up with 65?
You take
If
the
it's
vacant,
40.
you take the vacant land sale and add to it the cost of development.
Dude,
can
you're
shake
gonna
your
kill
head.
this town.
You
No, I'm not.
You
You're
are.
killing this town.
The people are not gonna be able to afford to live in this town.
Excuse me. You're factually inaccurate.
The other thing to remember too is,
And I don't care what any other town does, sorry.
that's okay.
You're
I think
arrogant. You are very arrogant.
The other thing to remember is if, obviously there's a lot of outrage, but the mill rate changes significantly,
Good. It's gonna have
goes
to.
down significantly.
Absolutely.
So just remember that as well, and definitely ask your questions, but just remember that he's not gonna dictate our mill rate either. I mean, assessments to an extent will say, oh yeah, this comes down quite a bit, but your taxes are gonna be based on that shift as well. So just try to remember that as well, because I know it's a little alarming, so.
So to add to that, thank you. When the valuation goes up in the town and the budgets don't change, the mill rate goes down. It's a teeter-totter. I don't care what your taxes are.
Thank you.
You
You're
vote.
awesome.
Excuse me, I'll finish.
You go ahead and finish.
And here's why. I am not a voter here. You, the voters, voted the county, school, and municipal budgets. My responsibility is the valuation. You take the total taxes to be raised and divide it by the taxable valuation, and you get a mill rate. And that mill rate is multiplied by everybody's taxable valuation, and that's what the town collects. I don't vote here. You vote here. You set the budgets. You set the taxes to be raised, not me.
I agree with
I
what
do
you're
the
saying,
division.
but I have a problem with, and I've said this for a long time, as long as everything's equitable in the town, that's fine, I got no problem with that. But when the state looks at us and says, oh, Waldo's now worth this much more,
Exactly.
and our state portions go up,
Mhm.
that I've got a problem with,
Yeah.
because now we're unbalanced with the other towns in the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
And I will finish that statement for you.
Very good.
So every year, the town gets a state audit. Every year, they determine the town's
Yep.
valuation. If the town is averaging 70%, the state adjusts that value of the town to 100%, like it does all the towns in the county and in the state. The state valuation dictates your portion of county and school budget. With the work that's been completed, you were going to, or before the work was completed, you were at 70-ish%, which means your homestead exemption gets adjusted down 30%. With the work that was done, once the land was revalued consistently, and I'll come back to that. Once the land was revalued, we were at 90%, which means we can certify 99% on our ratios, which is separate from the state valuation. They come up with their own number for distributing or distributing the cost of school and for revenue sharing and for the county budgets. So whether the town's at $50 million or $100 million, if the state valuation should be 150, that's how you're getting county and school budget bills, and that's what your revenue sharing is based on. Everybody in the state is adjusted to 100% regardless of where you're at. Because of the work, that ratio is now 99% for this town. I could have done a little bit more tweaking to the land valuation and got it to 100. But with a straight face, I couldn't do that post-decision. So this town is going to benefit by having a nearly full $25,000 homestead and $6,000 veterans exemption because of the work that was done.
And what was it before?
I think we're at 70 was a ratio.
And what does that, in layman's terms, what does that calculate out to in homestead exemption and veterans exemption?
So quickie numbers, if we were at 70%, then we're gonna take 70% of 25,000, which would have reduced the homestead exemption, which would increase your taxes.
It was
Because
20
the state, what was it?
It was 23,750 for the homestead
And it's,
last year instead of 25,000 that it
Yeah.
had been the year prior.
That was,
Years prior.
right, and that's based on a state valuation and audit that was done 2 years ago. It was going down because we were undervalued, just like the rest of the town.
and now it's back up to 25.
We're gonna be a penny short of 25,000.
Okay.
If, when we have a below 100% homestead, the state reimburses 76% of that. If we're at 20,000, it's a lower reimbursement, which means the taxpayers pick up that difference. We're back to nearly full value. Now I'll come back to equity. In this town, and with all due respect to Kathy, no one has done a comprehensive review of the valuations in this town. We found valuations for a subdivision lot that was at $1,500 when it should have been $20. We found a valuation for a property, so most of the valuations were $17,000 or $22,000 for your land values as a developed lot. We found a 43-acre lot that was developed, that was at $20,000. Inequity. I've gone through the town, nearly all the land values, except for this one little piece of the town, Westcott Stream, by the way. Which, by the way, wasn't nearly as scary down there as I was led to believe. The people are very nice down there. I went, so.
Don't go across the bridge.
So the equity in the town, when it comes to land values, is everybody's on the same page. They all started at the same point. They're all now at a very similar value. If you've got 2 acres on one piece of town, there's a 2-acre lot on the other side of town, they're being done exactly the same. No one has looked at that comprehensively before.
No, ever.
We had farm space which farm space exemptions, which are out there, needed to be updated every 5 years. And I'm not pounding on your mother.
No, I know.
They got away from her. Farm space needs to be updated every 5 years. The most recent farm space we had was 1991. We've got those all but one updated at this point. Your tree growth properties that are enrolled are now up to date, except for one that's in an estate. Your addresses match, your street names have been fixed, so they're all the right full spell out for each one. So when someone looks up a particular street, we don't have to guess whether it's ST or STR or STET or some other magnification. You can now print data records by map and lot, by street number, and obviously by alphabetical, which is the commitment book. And like I said, I have fixed most of the multiple owner names so that now they're all on the same page. So when they come out in the commitment book, they're alphabetical accordingly as well. And there's always some of those to fix. So you talk about equity, you talk about your valuations, you talk about the state valuations, you talk about your ratios, and I will tell you, down and dirty, you've never had it so good. I know what I'm doing, and if that's arrogant, that's arrogant, and I will accept that definition. But you have come a long way in this town to the point where Sandy has said, and she's my business partner in this town, learning how to do assessing. When we come in here now, we're not backtracking for an hour. We can move forward quickly and right up front, because things are in order. We can find transfer documents, we've got declarations of value, and we've got deeds in order. We have built out entire file cabinet, and Kathy, God bless her soul, if you saw those assessing records, they were roughly a half of a sheet of paper. We called them recipe cards because we thought that was cool. But now you go in the assessing office and you will find a folder for every single property with those assessing records having been sorted and figured out into those folders by map and lot. And we are building out the town one property at a time once we get to that town to be measured.
I have another question.
Yep.
When we get to the point where we begin looking, valuing dwellings.
Yep.
And this is the only way I know how to describe it, it probably sounds stupid. Okay, you've got two houses.
Yeah.
Both 2 bedrooms, both 1 bath. This one has granite countertops in the kitchen. This one has pine boards in the countertop. This one has hardwood oak flooring. This one has linoleum. They're not valued the same. So you're going to go into every house, if they will allow it, and value them based on what's there.
How does, okay, but then if you're going to go into every home and do it that way, doesn't that negate how you had said that you were going to work off of market value and homes for
Yeah,
sale?
so it'd
Those
be,
are all factors that
Or you're going to use
So
all of those
the
things?
quality of construction goes into that, market value goes into that. Just fixing the land got you closer. Amazingly so. I was surprised it was that good, actually. It came out that good. But there's gonna be properties out there, and there are properties out there, we've seen that are inconsistent. And that's a fact. And the only way to fix that is to do a revaluation. At some point, you're gonna have to build the town's assessing records.
Revaluations are definitely necessary. I think everybody understands that. I think it's just a matter
Yeah.
of sometimes the shock is a
This
little.
this one's expensive. It's gonna take time to go to every property, but in 3 years, we'll do an internal update with the same process, same procedure, letting people know, here's the new values, here's what the market has done. But after this, if we do this every 3-ish years, maybe 4 in this town, we'll see what the market looks like. Then those impacts of valuation change goes down. I've done 3 dozen revaluations. I know exactly what's gonna happen. I've done the math.
Diane, go ahead.
So a spin-off of Tom's question with the 2 houses that are the same size, but
Yeah.
one has higher end materials on the inside. So if someone chooses not to let you into their home just for their own personal, they don't want a stranger in their house,
Right.
Yeah.
but maybe they have the pine boards and linoleum, they don't have high-end stuff, how are you
Send
going
them-
to be?
So who's that on? That's on the property owner. I have no
Because
right,
they have,
I
they
have-
have, issue with their privacy and they don't want strangers.
for whatever reason. Maybe
So
they-
they're going to be charged as if they have the
No,
higher
no, no,
end.
no.
Penalized.
That's what I'm
You're jumping-
asking.
you're jumping
No,
ahead.
that's what I'm asking, is
Let me-
how would you?
You're jumping ahead. I am a professional. I've seen thousands of properties in my time. I know fairly confidently what a property's like inside and without seeing it, based on the evidence I see outside. You don't usually see granite countertops and oak floors where a property outside is maybe unkept or the vinyl siding is broken and those kinds of things. At that point, I'm going to send a property card. I'm gonna send an evaluation. I want people to get back to me. If they don't want me in the house, that's fine. I am not gonna penalize one way or the other, anybody, because that's not cool. That's not professional. If they wanna send me a photograph and not let me in the building, that's fine. You have all sorts of people who don't want, don't want anybody in the house wearing shoes. We have people who don't want anybody in the house because they're hoarders, or they're not good housekeepers. I'm there to put a fair value on the property based on what I know. I'm more than happy to work with people day in and day out. This is what I do every day of my life.
When you come to the individual homes going through, will you have a notification process so that Sally knows that you're coming on the 3rd of January, or?
Probably won't be that precise, but it will be, what we've already done is, and Sandy has done most of the inspections to date, is that we will set up an appointment and go from there. If that's not good, you know, I'm going to tell people, we're gonna be gathering the data over the next couple of years, and we're gonna implement it at some point down the road. Before those numbers get a tax dollar attached to them, there'll be another notification. Here's your new value. Send for a property card. This is what we think we know. If that isn't good enough, we'll go back to the property again. We will work with people, work their schedules and with their particular needs, and have done so already. But there's a lot of old wives' tales out there about mean old assessors. I'm not a mean old assessor. I pay taxes in my town just like you. And if somebody wants to keep me off a property because of no trespassing sign, then I'm gonna take my best guess. And if they don't like that best guess, then we'll have to make another arrangements to go to the property. I mean, ultimately, it's on the taxpayer to say, geez, Jim, come on in, have a coffee and donut, and we'll talk about my bad basement. I'm good with that. I don't like too much coffee, but I'm good with that, you know? I will work with people.
So, just to clarify, at the end of this 3 years.
Yep.
After the actual dwellings are assessed, at that point, that's when this whole deal will get put in effect?
Yes.
So nobody's,
Because-
so nobody's tax bill will be greatly affected until after the 3 years when the homes and the property are done?
And everybody.
Everything's done, yeah.
The whole town?
The whole-
So half the town isn't gonna, your tax bill's gonna be XYZ, and the other half, well, we haven't done you yet, so your tax bill's gonna be less.
Yeah.
That's
No.
not gonna happen.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Because that's discrimination and I don't.
It
do
is,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Herb?
New construction, Mike?
New construction's gonna get painted with the same brush as the previous valuations. And the only way because there isn't anything to have, we've been judging, like your house, off similar double wides already assessed. So we're working off whatever piece of information is out there that already happens. I don't, I know for sure your market value is a lot higher than what the assessment is on it right now. But that's what was being used before. We're gonna keep using something that we can find. And it's inconsistent. We've done our best shot to be as fair with all the new houses as possible. So I'll bring that point while I'm on the new house issue.
Gerard, real quick.
So just so I'm clear,
you guys aren't going to adjust based on the land values this year?
I see no reason to, no.
Okay.
They reflect market.
Thank you, that's
Yeah.
what I was getting at,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
They
so,
reflect market, and I can give you the sales ratio study to show you.
so even though the land portion is done, that's not gonna be adjusted until after the dwellings are done too?
No.
No,
No,
that's in play right now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
all right, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
from
because
our
land
last
is
meeting
separate
this one.
from
Right,
from
that's
the
right.
But once we have
Okay.
the land evaluations, the mill rate would change.
That's right.
For the
Right.
land evaluations, which
Yeah.
we dictate,
And
based
then-
off what the budget needs.
And the buildings will happen again later on when they're finished.
It's a little, it's like, to Herb's point, it's a little tricky.
Yep.
Because I don't have a previous cost schedule to work
Yep.
from. I've got it, Moral's cost schedule in the background, and I adjusted the land to make that work for Waldo. But the two markets are virtually identical.
Mhm.
They're probably pretty close,
Yeah.
but they're not in play yet, and we don't use those for anything other than
Yeah.
it's ready to go. But in 3 years, the numbers will be different anyway.
And
It's
so
just-
if the real estate market changes, which inevitably it's already slowing down, it's going to change, you're going to change the land valuation.
Yeah,
It
so,
can go down.
so 3 years from now, let's say the land value goes up another 10%, we will adjust that then. Are we in a bubble?
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay. How do you know?
there's always a
How do you
I'll
know?
go
restriction.
into a bunch of details.
How do you know?
Most things are overvalued right now.
We will
People
know
start coming in and ask them.
statistically,
Yes.
3 years from now, whether today is a bubble.
And let's say hypothetically it is, we're just saying the land evaluation that you're giving us now at $65,000 for one developed acre could go down to $30,000.
Let's say the market crashes, who knows what reason, the whole world comes undone.
But if,
Well-
going back to what you said before, if the state puts everybody at 100%, it doesn't make any difference anyways.
Yes, it does. So 3 years from now, the market goes to pieces, and everything's down 25%. I've never seen that. I've been doing this for 36 years. I've never seen a drop in the market of 25%.
In 2008, when the market crashed.
I found 7% down in one town, and I wish I hadn't changed the values. Yeah. So the market changes 25%. Our state value, our valuation goes down, the state valuation follows 2 years later. That's the problem. We'll be ahead of that curve, but we'll have better data for it. That's probably gonna happen statewide. It's not gonna happen in Waldo and Morrill, it's gonna happen statewide, or it could be just on the coast. Who knows what 3 years from now is gonna look like? Nobody knows. The assessed values will follow the market down or up. And you'll hear me say down or up a lot because I don't prejudge the future. I have no clue. And neither do you. So we don't know if we're in a bubble right now because it hasn't happened 3 years from now. We'll know in 3 years if this was a bubble. It is by far the most extensive 5-year increase I've ever seen in 36 years of doing valuations. If the market changes and the values need to go down, I will adjust them down. I don't care about anything else. I will follow the market and see what the market's doing and make adjustments accordingly. Statutorily, we need to be between 70 and 110%. If we get to 115%, we need to relax the values a little bit. We'll see.
And right now, we're at 99.
Right now, we're at 99
Okay.
because of the increase in the building value.
But you said we can be at 70% legally,
Legally,
which is where we were.
which means you will get less homestead exemption, less homestead reimbursement, and the taxpayers will pay more. There's a
Asking for
balance in there.
clarification. Because you said the homestead was 30%, right? Would go up to 30%,
Homestead's at 99% right now,
or 30,000, you said something about homestead.
25,000. So by the state certified ratio is chosen by the towns, believe it or not. And so I've sent in paperwork for 99% because that's what I could prove with taking the new land values, adding it to the sale prices, and it ratioed out to 90%. We have to be within 10% of 90%. So we're actually at 90%, but we can go 99 for homestead and veterans exemption.
So if everyone has
situations.
their homestead exemption in, you're
Yep.
basically saying their 1 acre would go down to $40,000?
No,
No,
the
they're.
total valuation.
Oh, sorry, the total valuation.
But yeah, in a way, you could look at it that that 1 acre.
That way.
Trying to look at the positive somewhere.
So, okay, so yes, so with the land increase that you're doing right now, so if that's bringing us up to 90%, not 99. So if that brought us up 20% just by increasing the land, if we get all of the dwellings where they should be, and let's be honest, I've seen what properties are valued at in our town, and I would say more than half the town is probably undervalued,
It's all over the place.
realistically. So isn't there a chance that once we bring those dwellings up, that could bring us well over 110%?
Yep, because I will calibrate the new building ratio to be very close to 100%.
I don't,
The
can you
total-
explain that a little bit? I don't totally get how that works, sorry.
The total, the town's ratio is based on the sales that occurred.
Right.
That's a land and building total,
Mhm.
assessed land and building total, added together and compared to the average selling prices. So I will calibrate the assessing system to that point, so that the sales are at 100%. But I've gotta have good data to make that happen, I don't have it.
So does that mean in turn, the acreage price may go down in valuation?
It could,
Oh,
so
okay.
there, it's a separate
Right.
process, so land is, I do valuations for land first, add to it the development cost, subtract the sale prices, the average sale prices, I subtract the developed land from the sale price, and the difference is gonna be the building value,
Okay.
once that all gets done. So the state valuation is only based on developed parcel sales. This land has nothing to do with it. But to be at just value, to be equitable, which is a requirement under the Constitution and by the law court, is the ratio of vacant land sales needs to be within 10% of the ratio of the developed site values. Otherwise, you're discriminating. So I'll give you an example. Another town that I used to work in, which I don't work there anymore because they broke the law, is their land is now at 140% because they didn't listen to me. They changed the values so nobody's taxes changed very much, which was garbage. So now their land values are 140%, their developed parcels are at 90%, the waterfront's still at 70%. They are discriminating on purpose between the different classes of property. That's not allowed under the Constitution. When I do all the work in the revaluations, I do the vacant land first, see where that value gets adjusted to, add to it developed, and then figure out how much I need to do for building values to be pretty close to 100%. So land and buildings at 100%, vacant land at 100%. If we had oceanfront, that needs to be at 100%, so that the classes of properties are equitable between themselves. Otherwise, you're discriminating against property owners.
So what was the average land parcel sale in Waldo?
I don't know, I'd have to look. I remember lots of things, but not that. But there's a sales ratio study that I can share with you, print out.
Yeah, just because if you're going off that, we need to be within 10%. I think that's a number that we should get to know.
So, I adjusted, land, it's in the high 90s, I don't remember the exact number. When I added the developed parcel to the buildings, I was at 90, so they were within that 10% range.
I guess you'll have to,
I like to show you something.
90,000?
No, 90%.
Okay.
Kelly, go
I
ahead.
just had a quick question. You're doing 1 developed acre even though our minimum in town is 2?
That's a zoning question
Okay,
versus
okay,
how I built the system.
okay,
Either way, I've got the land at pretty close to full value.
okay.
But that's a zoning question.
Yeah, no, I just wondered
Yeah.
why it was 1 acre when our minimum is 2.
Right.
It's a first acre and a
Okay.
second acre, and a lot of,
Okay.
there are parcels that sell that only have 1 acre. Your new lots have to be at 2 acres. The old ones are.
Okay.
There's a number of them.
Cody?
What about if you have parcels right next to each other that are merging in together
So-
for the same exact reason?
I've read your email,
Yeah.
we should have a discussion otherwise I'm gonna embarrass you in public.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's keep it.
I will just point this out to you, 701A
Yeah.
says land, not land and buildings. But I'll talk to you tomorrow about that.
Jolene,
So what is the cost of a vacant lot, 1 acre vacant lot? What are,
no well, no septic,
that's
no
the same
nothing?
thing you were
Yeah,
saying to
that's
Kim,
just
you
what
don't
you-
know?
He says he doesn't
Off
know
the
off
top
the
of
top
my
of his
What
head.
it's sold for and
What it's sold for, I don't remember, it's an average of the vacant lots that have sold,
1 acre undeveloped is listed at 40,000 right now.
so it was right in that
so
ballpark.
you're,
what it's
you're
valued
saying
at.
people are selling a lot for 40,000 here in Waldo?
The market told me that, I didn't decide that.
No, we need people to stop
Diane?
moving in,
So.
jacking up the prices.
Talking about, having to adjust potentially every couple of years on what the market is doing and all of that. So I know some towns, what they do is, house sales are going up or going down or whatever, they may just adjust it by a percentage across the board.
Mhm.
Is that what you would be doing, or would you be looking at each individual property each time
Each
that
time.
needs to happen?
So what you're referring to is called factoring.
Mhm.
I'll give you this example. There are properties in town, let's say, this is all hypothetical. There are certain properties in town assessed for 100,000. And let's say we're at 80%, we need to go up 20%. So some properties are assessed at 100,000, some are assessed at 200, some are assessed at 400, let's say. If you adjust by 20%, they all go up 20%.
Mhm.
I have found, and Friendship was this example, that within the stack of developed properties from bottom to top, maybe the bottom part of that needs to not move, which I found in the town of Somerville in their revaluation. The bottom part of the quality buildings, the total value they had was good. I found the middle ground needed to go up some, and the higher end properties needed to go up more than 20%. So if you, the town, a town, factor everybody 20%, you are changing,
You're losing the equity.
you're losing the equity. The top end maybe needs to go 40%, and the bottom stays the same, but you move them up 20%. So I have done research in the town of Newcastle, supported by the town manager's backup, is the most vulnerable properties identified by those who don't pay on time were moved up 20% when they shouldn't have moved. You are literally taxing somebody out of their homes because the assessing was not done correctly. Because the low end of the market should not have moved up at all.
So I guess, and maybe I'm just not understanding, but if we go through the reval and every property is valued where it should be and the market increases, and we need to increase everybody, why wouldn't everybody increase by 10% if everybody was valued appropriately and the market has shown that we need to increase? Because then wouldn't that be discriminating against
No.
people who can pay their taxes
No.
versus who can't?
I don't care who can and can't.
But
But there are some classes, some parts of the market, and I won't specifically identify where I think they are, but there are properties in this town
Mhm.
that might be assessed at 100,000 and they need to stay at 100,000 because they're never going to be more than what they are. But there are parts of the stack of residential dwellings that moved with the market because there's a lot of sales data.
They're
There
the
are some,
desirable ones.
right, there's another part of the market that takes 6 months to sell that are at the top end of the valuation stack. And maybe those need to come down 10%, maybe the bottom needs to stay the same, and maybe the middle ground needs to move 15 or 20%. That happens by having good data and good information and making good decisions. Now, how I do a revaluation is to take the initial statistical data and adjust those sales so that they average 100%. If the market was perfect, they won't average 100%. I then take every single result and review what comes out of the computer, because it's just a dumb machine. What comes out then gets reviewed again, because I want to know that sometimes, I know that sometimes the computer system doesn't understand things like really small buildings or really big buildings. It doesn't get that. I then take a statistical database, compare the old value and the new value. I get a percentage difference from the old value to new value, and I address, starting at the tips, I work my way in to find out where did this go wrong when somebody went up 400%. Did I get an extra zero? Who knows, maybe it's a big square foot. Why did it change? And then I will have a sales book, and that will be available as we move forward. I will have a sales book, and for those ones in question, I then double check that percentage. Now I'm on 3 checks now. Double check that number against the sales book. Does that seem to make sense? And there's always going to be a few that slip by. The 4th check is that property owners get the new values. Please email me, I'll send you your property card. Let's double check the data again. By the time we get to commitment, I hope I have filtered out all the little things that can happen in a market.
Anomalies.
What's that?
Anomalies.
Anomalies. The state does a sales ratio study, and you may have gotten it real quick here. The state does a sales ratio study and throws out the bottom and top 7.5% of perfectly good sales. I tend to leave those in because even they add to the average, unless there's something goofy. But they will provide some sort of information too. The state does not, for the state valuation, they don't use any sales over 10 acres. They just drew a line in the sand. That 20 acre or 50 acre sale is still got some good information in there for excess land valuations. That comes into play. There's a lot of moving pieces to all of this, but it's done thoroughly. So we've talked about a number of pre-board of $75,000 to do the building side of this at this point. The land valuation was done sitting at my office, just part of the living room, sitting and doing new valuations for literally $60 an hour. Way cheap. We told you 120, and I get that number from all my towns. For way cheap, I did data entry and adjusted your land valuations within the confines of your existing assessor's agent budget, because it just needs to be done. We now have good data fed out for the municipal valuation return. I will tell you that you don't do building permits for garages because people don't want their taxes to go up. I'm gonna flip that for you. If someone builds a garage down the road and they're not being taxed for it, that means everybody else's taxes are impacted. It's the reverse argument. I hope you move towards having a full building permit. It means your code officer is gonna be a little busy, but when I go do a new garage, I'm going to double check the building while I'm there, the dwelling, the decks, anything else that might be there. It's not just about that building permit, it's about checking the entire property again. You keep doing that. Example. The revaluation in Somerville 10 years ago was $90,000. We had to redo everything. I should have just taken the existing records, put them in the parking lot, and set them on fire. It would have been easier. $90,000, because we had to go door to door to door to door to door. I'm doing an update in that town for $14,000 10 years later, because I've got good existing data, and I've kept up on all the building permits and have reviewed all the sales and have done a drive through that town at least twice every year, just to visually double check everything. Once this gets done, it's cheaper moving forward.
I know that many people were alarmed when this mailing came out. I was one of them. I don't think that's going to change too much. The proof of the pudding will be when the final tax bill comes out and they see where they are.
Valuation.
The valuation is the valuation. Like I mentioned before, you guys set the taxes.
Well, we set the mill rate based off of.
You said that you're
Based
gonna,
on what we spend.
Yes.
I'm gonna put
exactly.
it on, hopefully I can get a camera for my laptop and I'll put it on the screen for you.
We-
There are rules.
Yeah.
And there's a minimum tax rate based on the budgets, the net to be raised, and the taxable value. There's a minimum number, not negotiable. There's a high-end number. We cannot be any higher than 5% off that minimum number. So that's the upper end of the rules. The board we have state statute to follow here.
Right, so you did Sears Mott, which was a question that had come up. And how is it that Waldo's acre is more higher valuation than Sears Mott, which was done last year by you?
Good question to have asked me before I got here, and I'd have some exact numbers for you. But Sears Mott is Sears Mott, Waldo is Waldo, Morrill is Morrill.
They have a
Okay,
post
but we
office
also
and
have
everything.
the same amount of amenities. I think we have less amenities than Sears Mott.
Yes, we do. You're
So if they're getting a $52,000 acre as of last year, which is done by you, then why are we getting 65? in
You have a
Waldo?
different number.
I have an
So
opinion.
Yes,
what's
that's just not
there's
really an
a-
answer, but okay.
The
Go ahead.
answer, the answer is that I did Sears Mott based on Sears Mott, Morrill based on Morrill, Waldo based on Waldo.
More
Sue?
based on Waldo?
Seeing realty in a couple places where I live, I really think that Waldo and Morrill are the bedroom community to Belfast.
Mhm.
Belfast is overcrowded, they're moving in out to the country. Searsmont, Troy are further away,
Yes.
they're valued less.
Right,
And that's, I think it's just location.
I used Sears Mott's numbers for Sears Mott, I used Waldo's numbers for Waldo.
how
They've got
many,
much the same
Mm.
developed site value, they're within probably $5,000.
how many land comps did you have to use for
Off the
your,
top of my head, I don't remember.
can we get this like
I
an
can,
email?
I can give you a sales ratio study and print it out for you.
Diane?
One question that I do have is, last September, you had come to a meeting after tax bills went out because a lot of people had questions about their tax bills. And at that meeting, it was, you were talking about how it was gonna take 2 to 3 years to be able to get all the revaluation complete and all of that. And it was stated at that time that no valuation changes would occur until that 2 to 3 year mark was complete, and that we would continue to see our exemptions dropping until that point. But the land value is increasing this year. Can I ask why and when that got approved?
I asked the board and the board said to move ahead with it.
Okay, was that done at a select board meeting, or it was?
I didn't do that without permission.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that without permission.
I don't remember that happening at a select board meeting, but okay.
There's no way I would do that kind of thing without the board's knowledge and approval.
No, I'm not saying that you didn't do it, I'm just saying I don't recall being at a public meeting where that was addressed again after September. That's
Who
all.
were the select board members at that time?
You'll have to check on the minutes.
Oh, it was her, Kathy, and Cheryl. Yeah.
Does anyone else have a general question for Jen?
If the acreage is wrong, please let me know. If there's something, if half your 20 acres is swamp, let me know. I think I got that right, but if you,
I didn't know swamp was on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I have 20 acres.
Yeah.
And probably 10 acres of it, you could never use it for anything.
Yep, swampland or wet or something.
It's all wet.
Let me know. It's easy to let me know
I'll let
these
you know
things.
tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know. No, those letters went out to let you know, but also for you to let me know. If there's something wrong with it, if the acreage is wrong, that's really where we're going.
Well, you're right on the right amount, but
Yeah,
there's no way you could ever get a building permit for anything on that property.
yep. So excess land beyond an acre has a much reduced price per acre. And again, I'm trying to hit those waypoints of the 1 acre sales and the 5 acres and the 10. And as I mentioned earlier, the bigger the acreage, that number moves. What I have seen of late is that up to about, I'll pick a number, 25-ish acres, it's pretty constant. Then the acreage values seem to dip down a little bit, but I'm seeing kingdom lots, large acreage sales, selling for some crazy money. And I'm hesitant to chase that. I want to see that trend for a couple of years to see if that's fact or something that just blips. Large acreage is hard to hit year in, year out. It's just the nature of the sales. There aren't many of them. Some are back in the woods, some are not. It's difficult to hit those on a steady basis. So.
Craig?
waterfront thing, that's been taken care of?
Oh, that was a code imported,
Okay,
and that's all been changed to none.
okay.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, that's what I told a couple of people
Yeah.
that asked me too, and I said it's gonna be a code or something.
yeah, it doesn't affect value,
Okay.
at all. We've tried to hit things like the houses we've done, you might see gravel versus paved. That doesn't show up in the value, that showed up in analysis, and I was good with that. And the other one I caught was, wells and septics, it might be blank, but there might be a well and septic on the property. We'll know more about that.
Those are just outlier stuff.
As a coating,
Yeah.
fingers don't
But that
work.
doesn't, they didn't play into,
Didn't play into value at all, yeah. Yeah, that was a leftover code thing
Okay.
from Morrill, which told me I have to go fix that tomorrow in Morrill, because I didn't catch that
Yeah.
either.
Question for you, Jim. So the farmland, sorry, I know, I have a lot of questions because I talk to everyone in
You talk-
town,
there you
so I'm
go.
getting everybody's
You're
questions answered.
You're my point person.
I know, I get all the answers when I can.
Even though it says I'm here on
Yes,
Tuesdays, please email me.
I know, but people come in when they register and ask questions,
No
so. So one thing that you just brought up was about the swampland stuff, and earlier I believe you said that farmland, am I correct that you have to fill out a form to put your land in farmland, and you have to like redo it every 5 years, same for like forestry maybe?
10 years.
Okay, but you have to fill out a form, so do you for like swamp and wasteland and all this as well, is that something that you have to fill out a form and then
No.
resubmit every so many years,
No.
or?
No,
Okay.
if you think, and I'm really easy about that, if someone says, I think half my land is wet,
Mhm.
it floods every spring, or whatever the case may be, I'm good with that. You know your property, you know your properties better than I ever will. And I've looked at the maps and the wetland maps and,
Yeah.
I've got parcels in town that are 50 acres, let's say, and the front 5 acres is, and then there's a big stream that crosses it. Now that changes, those kind of details. I think I got that right,
Okay.
looking at flood zone maps. Once that's done, we're fine. Farm space is a different deal altogether, tree growth is a different deal. I don't think we have any open space, but.
Okay,
Might
those
be-
are the
might
only
be one.
three that would require something to be resubmitted
Yeah.
after a set amount of
Yeah,
time? Okay.
open space is one and done,
Okay.
farm space is an update every 5 years with financials, and tree growth is every 10 years with a signature of a forester.
Okay. It's good for me to just know when people ask me if they need to fill out forms, and I don't know.
A form for everything.
Yeah, and I will
Homesteads,
direct them to you to get those forms, because I don't want those forms.
yeah.
Those can be from you
Homesteads have to be in by April 1st, and those are one and done.
and veterans. exactly.
Veterans in by April 1st, one and done.
Okay.
All right.
Anyone
This-
else have a general question for Jim? You'll be here tomorrow again from 3 to 6 to answer your personal question.
Sandy can't be here because she's going to a concert. How dare she?
Any- good on that?
Thank you.
There's a lot to it.
Yep.
And Kathy did the best she could with the tools she had. Thank you very much for making her best effort. But taxpayers are demanding a better transparency, justification, those things.
Is that what you want?
And things have changed.
I think going forward, communication,
Yep.
communication, please,
Yep.
don't.
Over communicate with us if you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
feel free, I encourage communication, please, bring it to us, if like this mailing stuff,
Yeah.
just send an email, whatever, is easiest, just communication, that's all.
That works.
And I think also, once we have the sales ratio study from you as well, that's something we can circle back to, but
It's pretty straightforward. So
Okay.
everybody, so we've
Well,
got
it is.
600, yeah, and there should be.
Yeah.
There's 640 properties in town, give or take a penny or two.
Yeah.
We've had direct communications, which is responding emails from about 35 or 40. Not a lot, not a big number.
I think there's also a lot of people who don't email.
Well,
There's
they can do that, they can,
Shockingly, a
I've
lot
got
of
a
people
letter in
like
there.
don't have an email.
Yeah, they don't even
Yeah.
have computers.
Right.
There's a shocking
Oh,
number of folks in
shocking
town.
number.
and if they need their property card, let us know, we will drop it off or put it in the mail, it's whatever it takes. This, communication is
Yeah.
paramount in this. At the same time, people who have emailed in have gotten their property record. They get a little blurb template email unless they have a specific question. They also got an information fact sheet, and at the bottom of that information fact sheet is a link or an address to the state's website, where the 3 basic courses of assessing, all 600 pages of them. It's also online. I'm not bragging this because I didn't do it. There's 32 hours of me teaching the review course, which is the hardest course the state office offers. If you really want to watch it for 32 hours, I think you need to have a beer with you or something, but it's awful. But it's, again, the basic information of how to be an assessor. At the end of that review course, there's an exam on Fridays. It takes 7.5 hours. And the first thing on the top of it says, just because you can pass this exam does not make you qualified. That's exactly what it says. Because it takes years of experience to really help and get assessors up to speed. And I've been working with a number of assessors to help them get through their first few years of assessing life. It's what you know from the class is a whole lot different than what's out in the world some days. And they don't talk about communication in that course at all, but maybe I'll add that to it. There's a lot to it. But I'll get you a sales ratio study. I think it's on my,
Yep.
it might be on my stick in the car.
I think everyone just wants to know how you got to 65, so.
It's
That's-
math.
That,
So
well, yeah, but
65,
that will help by
65
seeing
minus
how many
35.
people
Yep.
and how many properties sold.
Yep.
What you use for
All on the
comps,
list.
right?
Yep.
So we can all have a looky loo.
Just a word of advice, and you can take it, you can throw it in the garbage if you want.
I always take the advice.
Word it differently. Don't say, I don't care if the people can pay their taxes. I know
No,
what
it's
you're
not
trying
what I
to,
said.
I know what you're trying to convey, but that is a trigger for a lot of people in this room and rooms like this, so maybe word it a little differently.
So I didn't say I didn't care about your taxes. I said I don't care what they are because I don't set them.
Okay.
Anytime you say you don't care,
Right.
it offends people.
Yes, that's a trigger for a lot
So
of
don't do
people.
it.
But understand.
And
you
I understand what you're saying, I do, but for a lot of people, that comes across as like, oh, this guy doesn't care about us, why are we paying him to do this?
They're already upset to begin with.
Right.
Right.
I care a lot about assessing when I'm in the offices. On the way home, I care about people.
Well,
You can take that for what it's worth, for good advice.
on your way home, think about all of us.
Well, I had Newcastle today too, so it's 600 here.
Wow,
and
we're
50
memorable, Jim. I'm sure
Yeah.
you'll remember us.
Memorable's the right word. I always like these meetings.
Gerard?
You guys didn't vote on paying the bill, you just made a motion
They
and you
did.
seconded it.
Oh,
They didn't vote.
So
I thought they did too.
No, you didn't.
let's make a motion and redo it to pay Jim's bills
I was gonna anyway.
out of the tax
Yeah.
assessed
Yep.
money. I'll make that motion. Anyone want a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I think you're right. They didn't answer.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Yep.
He's
I
gonna have
know
a
what
lot
you
to
meant.
remember
I
on the
know
way
what you
home.
meant.
Yeah.
He done the
I'm with
work,
you.
he has to get paid.
All right, so then, Jim, we'll wait on that email from you.
And hang on.
Yeah, I'll probably print it.
Okay, great.
I don't know if we can have it.
You can drop it off
11
here,
by
whenever.
7.
Or if you have it tomorrow when you come, that we can check it out then.
Yeah, I know I have it.
Yeah, because then they can let us
I'll
know.
email it to you.
Email or drop it off.
Before we end, Diane?
Yeah, just one thing for clarification. So when we were talking about tax bill mailing and if we wanted to use that company, so for the tax bills, I will not. But I would not be responsible for any additional mailings that would be sent out by the assessors.
You're
I
doing
just
the
want to
tax bills
clarify
only.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
tax
And
bills.
anything
There isn't-
going-
I
there
just
isn't
wanted to
anything else.
clarify so that way there wasn't confusion. I could walk in one day to a stack of letters,
Yeah.
so
I
I
think in
just.
anything going forward,
Okay.
it's hopefully clear that he knows to at least ask if there's something that isn't a tax bill or something else, just so we
Just
don't
budget
incur
accordingly.
And
extra fees.
And if there's any, like reminders or anything that we want to send out, we can always include that with the tax bill if
Yeah.
it's coming close to time too,
So-
just to help save on
I
mailings.
strongly suggest a tax bill insert for communication. You know, when are the town office hours, when's the assessor here, when's the code officer in the office, or any bit of information. We're already sending, I don't know, postage is 70 cents now or something, I don't know.
think it's like 74, but
Just
yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we can print an extra 640 copies of an insert for communication.
Yep.
Let people know what's going on,
Yep.
you know, there's the bottle, if you wanna throw your bottles in the container for
Yep.
whoever, or, you know, we're sending out a mailing, let's use it for all we can use it for.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you don't mind folding them,
No,
it's up to
that's,
you.
that's fine, that's what Sandra always did, so that was part of what I took on and accepted when I got elected, so I'm fine with that.
Cool.
All right, so we just have the warrant then, I think.
All good?
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you for the questions.
thank
I'm
you.
not trying to scare you or be arrogant or anything else. Not my first day, but it is for you, it's your first day with me, so I will keep that in mind. All good?
Penny will see
Thank
you
you.
Safe
tomorrow.
travels. That was hard for you, thank you for,
You think it was?
I know it was, I was.
He was ready to explode.
I know, and you were going to help him.
Mikey was hanging
No,
around.
you wouldn't want me to say anything,
No,
believe
I
me.
didn't, because
She knows. When somebody says they don't care about tech, that's,
It's a trigger.
that's
It
arrogance.
is.
You're
No, I
absolutely
think
right.
he has to keep personal feelings out of it.
He
I
can
thought
word
he
it.
has
He
to
could have
keep-
worded
He
it
could
differently.
definitely
my
word it
God.
He could.
That's why I brought it
understand,
up.
But
Yeah.
he has to keep personal
Professionalism
feelings out of it,
demands
he
that.
can't say,
Absolutely.
geez, you know, I don't know.
Well,
That's
saying
what you
he
have
doesn't
to
care
do.
is not keeping, he's bringing personal into it.
You got the warrant?
You just, you got the bloody warrant?
He's looking at
Oh,
it.
my God, Frank.
It's a very stressful topic for
We're
everyone.
not gonna have any comments. Everybody have any
We're all
comments
like,
later?
huh?
We're just,
No.
we're just sending.
We're just letting out steam, you know, it's been holding it, yeah, holding it in, we got, so, good job, everybody, yeah.
He's coming back into
Doesn't care, that's
something.
bringing personal into it.
Let's
In my
motion.
opinion.
Kim, I think he's coming back into something.
Great, bring it on. I came to every select board meeting before I was a select person to have this exact.
Well, how do you think we get you in
So-
there?
I will say, if you are persistent and you have a valid problem, it'll probably get fixed, but be very persistent. Annoyingly persistent.
Oh, he's good at that, oh,
You calling Mike annoying?
A little bit.
Oh,
A little bit.
You know, he gets on the phone and he talks and he talks and he talks.
She's been around me too
You ain't
much.
telling me nothing I don't already know. Kelly,
And he calls her.
yes, I would love to. I'd love to.
can you ask if she remembers that select board meeting
On a Saturday.
where it was voted
I was gonna call Mike.
Yep,
this
that,
morning
with Jim?
with the, yep.
Can you just ask her if she remembers?
No,
If
it
she
was
does,
on,
can you
charging.
have her come to the next select board meeting?
And it was
Never
hot in
turn it
hell,
off.
man.
Where they just got, decided that they were going to
It was on.
do later this year.
Yes.
It was on it last time.
Thank you.
Do you remember?
I know. It was nice, I worked all day.
I don't think I'm ready.
Who does
I'm
the,
asking.
who does the?
Is that all that's left is the warrant? Didn't get hot up here either.
The first.
Wow,
Oh, I
so
did.
60,
They have to go get a loan.
66.
see you later.
First bank does. You know, where you, town does business.
But I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to put out an RFP officially, that I don't think you can see that information without. I mean, you can see the information.
Kelly.
You have to like post it in the paper that the town of Waldo will be taking bids
Kelly.
for.
I have cough drops.
Yeah, that's just,
Oh,
I this was the, I messed up, no, Tom's pay. I'm just taking your name and that's what.
You've been afraid.
Keep one in my desk, so it's just me, it happens to show up.
They're no fun when you gotta open the paper, then you gotta lick the paper.
I didn't realize right
Is
there.
here, okay, I was like, that's not in the row, we're on here. No, I just wanted to make sure I had it right.
Where you go?
Put them in the freezer.
But all the little kids like that.
So your niece all the way around that.
So I was like, lollipops for a while.
Yeah, and if you wait too long, then they have to do more expensive, so.
Like I said, the proof of the
So
pudding
it
is
depends on what he
usually
sees
the
when he
next
gets in
milk.
there.
Which realistically, with the school budget dropping by 10,000 a month, and I understand county and town did go up, so realistically, it shouldn't be a huge change in theory.
Speaking of the county,
People's property values were way off.
Vic's baking on them.
budget
That's
committee
honest.
member from Waldo expired.
That I roll on my
We, as
fucking
a
shoulders
board, will have to vote when they come out, and you should be getting from the county something in the near future on voting for a new budget committee member.
I wasn't gonna, I was gonna say.
Sorry.
No, no, I don't.
What? Every 3 years, they change it, and I didn't realize that
This
per
one's
bend
72 or is that the same?
It's the
is
same.
one
Yes.
year.
And then this is,
That term for
what the
budget committee
72
ended.
was.
So I had thought that I was gonna
Charged
pick up
every
saying that, man,
But
that
he
term
was charging
was
this
over.
much of the.
There was only
So is it
4
another
people
72 or
who
is it
showed
one?
up for the
It's just one.
And I
This
was,
is it.
I had.
Right, well, this is
Dummy.
sort of, yep, that this is, credit card, saying I owe them $72. And this is, what the credit
I
card.
hear
was charged on the
everything,
credit
you know,
card.
yeah.
So let's charge our credit card $72, and this is the
But they
credit card.
basically go together into the
Yes.
one separate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, no, that's,
You name it, I work on it, I spent 13
And at
hours.
this point, the town still doesn't have, we don't have to.
No, I don't want, I don't think you should have to, I got too much work.
Permit for.
You want a car to look at it?
I thought you
Before,
do need you guys to sign for the
this
Right, and if you were changing the component, you
I
have
worked
to.
until 4 and then come here.
And if you did an additional
Yes, because you can put plumbing in it.
no, but an addition you have to if it's over so many square feet. What's the square feet?
400 square feet.
Oh my God, well, 400, that's not much,
No, it isn't.
actually.
Oh, if you're building 400,
Yeah, because there was, we were, somebody was here and putting on like a 12 by 20. And he needed to warrant it because it was over, just a little over square. He's busy.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
If Kim's gonna dress up like that, I wanna see you guys in shirt and ties.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Well, Tom is, look, he's got a collared shirt on.
I literally don't own a necktie or a button-up shirt.
I can
so-
set you up for that.
No, thank you.
I just figured Sue deserved something
Why, don't you
beside a
think it's
sport.
good to dress?
Always so
okay.
casual.
Yeah, so you don't
cut hair on
But it's just a sundress. It's really.
You don't cut hair on that.
Oh, yeah.
I kill
Breathable,
myself.
it's light.
No wonder I don't
hot,
come to
you
you.
know? Ian can't wear a sundress. I mean, he
Sorry,
would, but
I couldn't help
we
it.
might have different conversations.
You look a little funny in it.
So Joe Senior might stop by.
You look good in anything you wear.
Sweet Sue.
Just to get you to go with the.
Just trying to not have a hot flash, you know?
Well,
Yep, okay. Well, actually, I guess I've never met Joe.
I said earlier, maybe I'll donate a cup to the town of Waldo. Maybe all the business owners can go in on one. Like, who do we
Well,
need?
you know what, I think I
I
did
know.
that a couple
But
of
he's,
years ago.
but I told him that he needs someone
But
to
it's
look
always
at
somebody
that.
else who comes in and registers and stuff for the
Oh,
business.
probably is because what?
No, it's a guy who works for.
Can't help it.
Shit, what, shit, what?
He was just here in Sandra.
we didn't like it.
I was like.
Oh, all right,
There ain't no sense, they ain't gonna get you anywhere.
I know,
Yeah, he up there, it's like a.
arrogant, arrogant, it's,
Yeah,
that,
so this is just a follow-up
Press
from
people.
last week when
I think it's
you
some
guys
Well,
were
it's-
with Bob.
probably so,
Probably fine.
but that's not his forte, it's numbers. I know. Yeah, yeah. It was, it can be taken as being rude,
No, I think the questions are great.
and so, there you go. I mean, it's, but, he's been doing this for, what, 35 years, and you're not gonna change him. Frankly, I don't
We
wanna,
have to have it.
Show me the picture.
Yeah, it's,
Isn't it really here?
I don't know. I did, it seems to me that I did know that the answer to that, and I don't know now. But he is replaceable.
Any public comment? Anybody have anything? Sue, go ahead.
The assessor, he's appointed by the select board, and is that by contract, and is that by yearly, or every 3 years, or,
I have his contract right here.
okay.
How many years is it?
He was voted on by the board and accepted as the assessor.
Yes.
Yes, how
But
long?
his,
One year.
I can
For
tell
1
you
year?
1 year?
right here,
Okay,
it's gonna end It ended, it
Already
was
did.
April 30th, 24
He-
to January 25, and then the second part is February 25 to January 26. That is where it ends.
Okay, so to be clear, an assessor or evaluator can be replaced.
Yes.
Can be, I mean, there are other options, it's not in stone that we have to have this region's assessor.
Correct.
Thank you.
And out of
Okay.
curiosity, did he ever
They're good.
survive?
No, I was gonna bring that up.
Sign the contract for
He
this
has,
year,
he has
technically.
not submitted a new contract. He was supposed to submit a contract so that me, her, and Wayne could sign it.
Right.
That never happened, and now
We
he
have a
should
whole new
be
board, right.
submitting us a contract for Kim and me and Tom to sign, which he still hasn't done. So there is no signed contract with him at this time,
For this year.
for this year.
That's good.
And when it comes time,
This is just a copy, so it is not signed, unfortunately.
Go ahead, Sue.
when it comes to appointing work to be paid, are the evaluators, do you get estimates from several, or you just pick out one?
I don't know how it was done. I would hope to get a different
That was
opinion.
before my time.
Yeah,
too. I
yeah.
don't know how they did it.
Yeah,
They had a
Kelly?
couple, they had a couple that they
And no,
looked at,
they
and
were
actually
Okay.
didn't go with him
not
first, they went with someone else.
Yep.
Who got sick and couldn't finish, so
Uh-huh.
then I think he was the choice.
And he was the only one who was
Available.
available.
Okay.
No, he was not.
He was not.
Oh, that's what I.
There was one that was a lot more expensive, right?
No,
No, okay.
there was another one, but that was just when we had the vote, and I went out, and the new board voted Jim in.
okay,
He would not have been my choice,
And
but
it-
right.
that's,
That's,
I could
that's,
tell that
Herb and
tonight,
Shirley.
Tom.
That's
I could tell.
It was Kathy, Herb, and Shirley at the time, the contract, but it was not signed.
oh,
Or the one that I have both.
Okay.
This is an
24
original.
one was
Okay.
signed, that expired in, I believe,
25.
February of 25. Right, because that was an extension if they
Okay.
wanted to, and he presented a new contract. But the names weren't right or
Right, that's right.
something, so he was supposed to circle back on that, and
Never
he
did.
has
But
yet
there's
to
a
do
copy
that.
if either of you
Right.
want it.
So on the garage thing, he said if you don't have to have a permit, but we obviously we don't have to have one.
Yeah,
That you don't get taxed on the garage. You do get taxed on that building, am I correct, Ray?
I don't,
I don't deal taxes,
No, but I'm sure that we do get taxed on the building.
only when they find out about it.
I can say.
I mean,
Only when
pretty
they.
obvious, I drive by my house and there's like, they
No,
stand there,
but if the assessor doesn't assess it, it
Right.
doesn't tax.
right.
The issue that he's talking about is the permit
If
would
that's the letter that.
would trigger the look at it at that moment and not at a reassessment that could be 2 or 3 years down the road.
Right.
So he's talking, when he talks about that, he's talking about a fairness issue, that if you build something,
right,
you should be taxed when it's
when it's
finished.
there.
Or there,
Not 3 years later.
not 3 years later, and that's where the permit issue comes in, because they get a copy of the permit, so they know to add it right, or to actually go see it, to make sure, and then add it so that it's
Becomes part of the
closer to
file.
the time when it should be taxed. You get what I'm saying by that, you understand?
tell him it's
Um,
not Tuesday.
Sorry,
So
sorry.
who makes that change for requiring a building permit?
The board, you guys.
We would make
We
that
are
change?
working on the ordinance changes
Or
right
you
now.
guys, that's still in the planning?
That's,
phase?
we're still working on
Great.
it. With, Wayne was heavy into it. He was kind of not really driving, but he was doing a lot of the writing and a lot of the, bringing together of information, because he's done it before. And then he went to the select board and he was going to finish that with us, and then he got sick, so
Right.
it's been, we've had a little hiccup, so we're picking up the pieces and moving forward.
Sue, go ahead.
I would like to be clear in saying that the board enforces what the town of Waldo wants in the ordinances.
What they vote in.
So- What they vote in.
Yes.
So, well, there will be changes that will occur, the town of Waldo will have to vote on it, so the board can only
Okay, yes.
Correct.
give a permit on what the town has approved of.
Yeah, so we're,
Right.
we're, we're working on the
The
new
ordinance.
ordinance because we have to incorporate new state laws
Yes,
that have
lots
come
of,
into play.
lots of changes.
That we have no,
We have
how do I
no,
word
no
this?
choice but to do that.
Well, we have a choice not to do it, but
Oh.
the state will take it to town to court and say, here's your new ordinance,
Right.
and force you to do it,
Right.
because that's been done before.
So it's,
They did that with
No.
Shoreland back in 94, 5 or 6, something like that. They didn't adopt it, so the state took multiple towns to court and said, here, now you have it. So we're working on going through that to incorporate the new changes. But then it goes to the town, to a special meeting or town meeting, and the townspeople vote on it, or they vote it down.
Yep.
And then if it gets voted down, then we,
But you're still not in line with what the state wants if it gets voted down.
Correct.
Because you have to make all the changes of
Correct.
that the state has made in the
Right.
last 5 years or whatever.
uh,
Or whenever it was updated last, not.
17 years.
Okay, I know it was probably a long time.
Something like that, or 8
And then
years.
that's a liability, obviously,
So,
for the
Yes.
town or
To
reason
help you out, can you get access to somebody that's updated their ordinance, like maybe,
We've already gone that,
So
we
you've
we
done
are
that part.
working on the incorporation
yeah,
and how it works for us.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, so
and
you've
to put
you've
a-
gone and get some stuff from us.
Yeah, so we're
We
putting the
have.
package together,
yeah,
so that we can say to the public in a public meeting,
Yeah.
here is the package.
Yep,
And that's after the lawyer looks at it, make sure everything that we've done
Right.
is legal.
right.
Yeah,
We haven't said something that can't be enforced or is not whatever, and then we get input from the public at that meeting, and then we go forward with changes if need be, and then we go and have a meeting to have it voted on.
Perfect.
That's the process. And if the
Fairmont does have building
I should have.
yeah, almost every other town has permits for anything that's built.
yes.
Yes.
And,
past that for a window, I believe, isn't it?
That's if you wanna sneeze on the sidewalk. It's a
Yeah.
different story.
So-
that's illegal. You
So-
shall not spit on the sidewalk on
well, we're
Sunday.
working
All
on it.
passed.
Mm-mm.
Okay, anything else?
I think we're good.
Make a motion, we
We're all right?
I'm good.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
All in favor? Adjourned at
Good night, everyone.
7:12.
Good night, yes.